This is the XNC Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, XNC Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox Newscast. Welcome, everybody, to the XNC Podcast. How are you guys doing? It's great to be here. I just realized, Mag, welcome. As we're getting started, that my voice is kind of shot from the Mariners baseball game that we saw on Friday. A lot of yelling, but I'm wearing the FanFest shirt, like one of the only like 3 items I own with an Xbox logo that is wearable.
Really?
Yeah. Stuff that I get.
I have a lot of stuff.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. How are you?
Had some cool stuff too. I'm good, man. I'm good. Excited. We got a busy week, obviously. We got the show tonight. Tomorrow I'm doing a double feature, so to speak. Doing the live reaction to the state of play at 4:30. I'm going live, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and then directly after that, I'm like, well, what's the point of saying, okay, guys, bye. We'll see you in 45 minutes for Madcast. I'm like, why don't we just continue right from there? So we're just gonna kind of carry on from there. I'm going to switch scenes on Streamlabs and then kick right into Magcast right from there and just carry on and just talk about what we just saw at the state of play. And then from there, we're going to talk about what we're looking forward to with Keeley and Xbox on Friday and Sunday respectively. So yeah, it's going to be a busy show tomorrow night, a busy show tonight. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm going to drop a video or two maybe, and then off we go, buddy. And then we're on the airplanes and flying our butts off to LA. So then we got a whole bunch of other stuff, to do. So I'm getting all my tech ready to take with me in the plane, in my carry-on and stuff, and all the new lavalier mics and all that stuff that I got going on because I'm going to do a whole travel log thing. And then, I'm going to film whatever we can, like when we're at the things, because obviously a lot of the stuff we cannot film. There's a bit of that, right? So no cameras beyond this point. So do what we can, and it's gonna be great, man. So a lot of cool things. Speaking of which, I just wanted to say that what's up, Coco? He says, "Hey, yo, Meg." So here's the thing. Actually, I see Blue Number in the chat, and Colt and I just found out today, folks, that IO Interactive has invited us, and it's gonna be myself, Colt, his wife, and Holly are coming with us. They invited us to a special VIP event at the Roosevelt Hotel on the Friday night after the Keeleys. Not the Keeley Game Awards, obviously, the Keeley Showcase there, the Games Fest, Summer Games Fest. And we're going to this VIP event where IO Interactive is going to be doing a new thing about Hitman and some other stuff going on. And it's going to be great, man. And so we're going to that red carpet, gala event, like hors d'oeuvres and drinks and everything. Yeah, it's going to be dope, man. And on the red carpet, I'm all in, baby. Let's go. So that's Friday, and that just sort of manifested itself today. So super excited about that, dude.
All right, I was doing the contacts this morning, and you said it says dress to impress for the event. That's
right, dress to impress. I am going to be wearing a very nice outfit. I'm not wearing a suit because already the group was making fun. They're like, dude, you're going to be wearing a suit. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to wear. But I'm like, I don't want to be wandering around Hollywood all day in a suit in the sun. I think I might roast to death. So that maybe I'll find a halfway point of like suit and like really nice outfit. So I don't know, figure it out. Perhaps a nice sundress.
Nice. Yeah, this is this has been a crazy week. Like Meg and I are going to be covering today on the show. We're going to be covering what to expect from the state of play. We're going to talk about what PlayStation will have exclusive. We're going to talk about what they're going to showcase that's coming to Xbox and PC. So there'll be some third-party stuff in there. And then, like you said, the Summer Games Fest, we'll be talking about that. Because when we come back, I don't know if we'll do a show. We might not even have a show next week, because,
I won't be back
the day after. Yeah, I won't be back until Monday
I won't be
night.
back till like 1 o'clock in the Monday/Tuesday. I don't get back into Toronto until like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So obviously I won't be there for XNC. I know you're coming in earlier, but I don't even know if you're going to make that cutoff time.
No, I mean, there's been a couple times where we've literally, I like parked the car in the garage and ran in here and turned on the camera. Yeah. But we're not doing that this year. So I don't know when XNC will return, but we're going to cover as much as we can leading up to it. And as far as me making content, I'm kind of planning, thanks to my buddy Seeker, planning on making a video about everything that's coming out from these reveals before the showcase even happens, because State of Play will have some cool stuff, and then we'll talk about that in a moment. But
Sure.
it's been crazy. One of the biggest projects at my actual real job, my normal real job, has really culminated since the beginning of Christmas break, and it's drug along all the way up until this week. And starting tomorrow, it's finally taken care of. And so I'm like, I just want to be ready to go to the show, doing all the YouTube content and work. And here we are. We can sit down and just do the show. We're super happy to have 4XP sponsoring today's show. We'll talk about them in a moment. But before we do that, thank you everybody for being here. Kung Fu Hot Dog leaves a very generous $20 super chat. We appreciate you so much. Also, a nice surprise for Kung Fu Hot Dog that'll be revealed soon. But it'll be cool to actually see Kung Fu Hot Dog do his thing. I can't talk about it, but you'll soon hear. It's pretty cool. But he says, Colt and the Megalicious, it might not be E3, but you two will bring that spirit back. Weekend as Butch and Sundance. I reckon Gears E-Day will show gameplay of CQC with the Locust drones, close quarter combat with the Locust drones. Congrats to your channels. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, Kung Fu, for being awesome. Literal Table also gives me a razz that says, you still haven't accepted my friend request on Xbox. Last week, Meg and I said, go ahead and spam us. Hey, sir,
would you like some fries with that, sir?
But yeah, Literal Table is one of those that spammed friend requests on Xbox. We appreciate you. Red War 4 Fight with the 10 months says, how is the jerk, Mag? The jerk? How was the jerk, Mag? He said.
Well, there was. Oh, I think he's talking about there's a new jerk chicken place. Well, it's a Jamaican place that opened up down the road. I was gonna go check it out, but I haven't gone yet, so I gotta go because they have. I was telling you before, they have jerk chicken and oxtail poutine. So I'm like, I need to have.
That's right.
Like I need to have, we talked about that. So I haven't gone yet because I've been so busy running around. The kids got a lot of stuff at this time of year. My son's graduating grade 8 this year, so there's all these events he has to go to and things like that. And so I've been just running around like a maniac, and then of course doing YouTube content, trying to get gaming in as well. Get my suntan on for LA so I don't look like a sheet of paper. Oh, dude, look at me, man! I'm getting darker. And I just wanted to
actually you do
and lost 14 pounds, by the way. Lost 14 pounds for this trip.
I've lost 11 pounds, but I'm also trying to pack on some muscle weight. So I've been feeling good. Like hitting 50 was probably the best thing ever. So
6, 7. I do not wear Drakkar Noir. Jesus, listen to this guy. I see Coco in the chat too. By the way, he says Meg airing out his hairy legs with the sundress. Joke's on you, suckers! I don't grow hair. Look at this. There, no hair. I don't grow hair. I'm the only Italian on planet Earth that has no body hair. Colt, you'll see in person when you see me. I have no body, no arm hair, no leg hair, no back hair. It's the weirdest thing, man. I'm like a giant baby, basically.
Yeah, well, you won't have to show so much skin if you don't want to, but we will take donations if you're willing to do that.
Hey, man, there's rooftop pool parties every day at the hotel I'm staying in, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, of course they're going to make jokes about how we don't have any hair on the top of our heads, but that happens.
That too. Yeah, that's why I look like a baby. I have no hair anywhere. So except for my face. That's about it. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Welcome.
Only Mags is coming very soon, folks.
Welcome the fake Asha Sharma in the chat who's hanging out. Oh, we appreciate her
what
royal
if it's the real one? How do you know?
Well, I mean,
how do you know, Cole?
It could be. We've got a lot to talk about today with the show, and we're gonna do some predictions and maybe some leaks and rumors about what is coming up in the showcases. There's a lot to cover, but when it comes to gaming, I don't know. I was like, do I want to play Lego Batman? Do I want to play 007? And I can tell you unequivocally, yes and yes. Both of those games have completely impressed me. I was, you and I were touch and go about 007 for a minute there, but I got into like the second chapter and beating the crap out of people and sneaking around, and there was like big set piece moments already happening. And then Lego Batman is just an absolute banger. Just, you forget you're playing as a plastic little toy. It just feels like the greatest Batman Arkham game that finally was made. It's so good. It's so great, bro.
Been saying the same thing. I keep telling everybody, I'm like, guys, don't sleep on this game. It's not a Lego Batman game. It is literally a Lego Arkham game. It has every single thing in it, like open world. I mean, we talked about it last week, but I'll just, open worlds, Riddler trophies. It even does the thing where you have like the spray foam where you could blow up the walls. You know what I mean? Like you could go anywhere. You could go anywhere, zip line to the rooftops and skyscrapers and go gliding around, Gotham. It's incredible. And it's like, how are people not lining up for this? Everybody's been begging for a new Arkham game for damn near 10 years or however long it's been since Arkham Knight came out. And it's like they released that dog water, the Suicide Squad. And now you're getting a Lego version of Arkham. And why isn't this selling 25 million copies right off the rip? It should be happening. Everybody get out there and buy it. I'm telling you,
yeah,
it's amazing.
I mean, I was done with Lego games. Like, you really feel like, oh, can I really have fun? I've just had so much. Just had a great time. All the time. In the open city, it's amazing. You do the little missions and you sneak around and find stuff and beat up guys. It's just, yeah, it is so fun. So I've been playing that in 007, and then I was playing 007 on PC, Batman on Xbox, and then I loaded up 007 on Xbox, and I'm like, okay, you ready? Are you ready to get exposed by Oh No, It's Alex, the Banana Man? Are you ready?
Oh, what?
Mag? What? Are you ready? I'm gonna expose myself to Alex. How about that? Clipped.
Wow. Someone clip that. Someone clip that immediately.
I'm playing 007 on my $3,000 PC, and it looks great. So it looks pretty good. 1440p, high settings, everything. And then I go on Xbox, and I'm like, okay, performance mode. I mean, there's some jagged edges, like there's some resolution iffy things, but I'm like, wow, this is sometimes, I don't know. I'll just say this. Sometimes you can throw a couple $1,000s at a game and it's like, sometimes. And that's how I feel like I'm going to play them on both places. But right now I've been playing, I played one whole chapter on Xbox. I played the whole first 2 chapters or whatever it was on PC. And the Series X looks great, man. It looks really good. Exposed.
I haven't been. Never mind.
I don't know. Whatever.
Anyways, either way, 007, I'm into that too. I'm almost done. I think I'm on the second or third last chapter of the game, something like that. And it's like they've nailed everything else, like the mood, the music, the set pieces, like, when you're going into an area, it's like, oh, you're going into this, this gala or whatever. I'm not going to be spoilerific, obviously, for people who haven't got to it. And it's like, oh, you're going to this gala and you got to do this and that or whatever. And some people watch my streams and obviously it's me freaking out because, I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do or where I'm going and all that jazz. And anyways, playing it, enjoying it. But there are technical issues with the game and I'm starting to overlook them as the story gets better. So I'm like, oh my God. And I pointed out during my streams, and some of them are kind of funny. And you're literally I don't know if you saw that clip where I'm literally standing face to face with an enemy, and I took out the guy next to him, and then the guy's staring at me, and I'm staring right at him, and no movement, nothing. And then I'm like, what do I do? He's not doing anything. So I walked behind him and then took him and then did a takedown, and I was like, that's the funniest thing. But yeah, it has some technical issues, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But it's still not a 10 out of 10. I can't, I don't understand how that's like a perfect game. I'm like, I've played many games that I would consider damn near perfect. That's not one of them, but it's fun. And it nailed the vibe. There's a great scene, a little scene with a car scene, whatever. I'm not going to say much for anybody who didn't play. And it's got the Bond music playing. And you're like you're driving in London and smashing cars and this and that is going on.
You're way ahead of
me. And like the music's kicking in and I'm like, holy shish kebab. This is more like it. I'm like, they're nailing this Bond thing. The espionage and stuff as well, obviously. And but yeah, there are some technical issues, but they could be overlooked with the story being as good as it is.
Some of the Hitman stuff is like, it feels really slow to me, but Hitman fans are going to absolutely love it. But once I get I feel like I have to kind of get through that, but I still I still get the vibes, which, carries me through. So I still enjoy it. It's just not the best thing in the world for me, but it's still a really great game. But I'm glad Special Nick's in the chat. He's been on fire. Well, I mean, he's always on fire, but he was on fire and this really.
Someone put him out. Poor guy. No one's helping him.
Just pour a little something on him. Yeah. He's, the day after all this stuff with Logogate and stuff, he had a really great take that I saw this morning, and I kind of paraphrased him. We'll get into that today because Yeah, I wanted to say this in the beginning of the show, guys. If you think that people are bitching and moaning over nothing, over logos, then you don't understand what the logo complaint is. And I'll tell you this before we get into that discussion later, it is not about exclusivity. And if you're narrowed in on that and you're like, quit whining, that's not what we're talking about. And I'm going to break it down today. I was talking to a good friend who's really like strong in the console war. And I was like slapping him back and forth. I'm like, dude, we're not talking about exclusives. I'm talking about, and I'll get into it because it needs to be explained. You guys have the wrong idea. And if you sit here and kumbaya this, someday you may never have any games to play. And I'll get into it. It's kind of ridiculous. So before we do that, Mag, I've been sitting here while we're doing the show. I've been sipping on ice water mixed with white gummy.
Nice.
AKA,
you're back to the white gummy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. AKA the legendary. No, Gravewalker. Gravewalker's white gummy.
That's the white gummy.
Gravewalker.
But you were hooked on the watermelon for a minute there.
Yeah. And I figured
white gummy's where it's at, baby. That's what
yeah, it is good stuff. Tell people about 4XP, and we're going to get into topics. We got a lot to cover, and they're delicious.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Some of the people in our group chat for the people going to LA were making fun of me specifically being one of the older guys going to the show. And then, of course, they put up a picture of me in one of those little scooters that, like the gigantic people use at like
I'll
Disney
put it
World
up while
and
you're
stuff.
talking.
Oh, you're gonna put it up? You have it? All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you better put it up. I got another screen, so I'm gonna take a look at that. But anyways, so they made a ridiculous picture of me, of course, not realizing that I am probably the most fit man that's going to be there in LA. And this is the thing, folks. I actually don't even need a ride from the airport. I'm running from the airport. You know how I'm doing that? I'm going to run. I'm just going to run. I'm going to dodge all the fentanyl zombies. I'm going to do a double flip over Skid Row, and I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to be like Mario, bouncing my big Italian stupid head on blocks and getting over there. And the only way I could do that, folks? I can only do that with 4XP, okay? You get a little Gravewalker in you, you get out there, and the next thing you know, you're going to be flying. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be flying, and that's the only way. You want to finish 007 before you get to Lego Batman? Then that's exactly what you got. Look at that picture, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that picture. Look at that picture. Colteastwood sitting in my basket. Mag phone home. There it is. Mag phone home. Yeah. Cold phone home. It's that's across the sky. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You see, that's me, old man, going over to LA. Listen, I don't need any of that. Like I said, I'm going to run to the hotel. And the only way you could do that is with 4XP. The only way you can finish all these games, 4XP. The only way that we're going to be able to stay up for 4 straight days with almost no sleep, 4XP, ladies and gentlemen. It's the only way. And listen, they've got something going on right now that we talked about a few weeks ago, and they still got it. And I'll tell you what they got going on. They are still giving away that collector's edition of 007 First Light. The collector's edition. You don't even need to buy anything. You just have to... Yeah, like the whole 9 yards, man. And all you need to do is go to the website and go to 4xpgaming.com. You enter the website with an email, no purchase necessary, and that gives you an opportunity to get that collector's edition of 007 First Light. That is amazing, and that's actually worth quite a bit of money, folks. So that's something. Now, on top of all that, even if you don't want to go for the 007 and you just want to buy the product, anything over $50 is free shipping as well. So, I mean, what are we talking about? And on top of all this...
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, on top of all that, we're going to be there in LA with 4XP. There's going to be stuff there. And so anybody needs that little extra hit, let's rock and roll. You want to go to Keeley's? You want to go party after? You want to go to Sunset Strip at midnight? There's only one way we could do all that. 4XP, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to be your energy dealers. That's what we're going to be. We're going to be your energy dealers. So you order at 4XP, go to their website. They're awesome. But if you're in Los Angeles during the whole Summer Games Fest stuff and you're hanging around with us, we're going to have a couple shakers, and we'll have some joysticks so you can try 4XP, mix it up, drink it while we're hanging out. And they're awesome. Thank you so much for having them on here. We got to talk about gaming because it is absolutely, it's amazing. I love this, that Xbox has such a packed game showcase that they revealed their year's biggest game a week before showcase, right? Like almost 10 days before showcase, they said, here's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, and it's my best setup because one of the most underrated games that came out in the 360 PS3 generation is Homefront, a game that it talks about the invasion of U.S. by North Korea. This time, it's South Korea being invaded by the North Koreans for Call of Duty, and It looks really great. People are excited. I'm hearing they're toning down on the the Beavis and Butthead and the Nicki Minaj skins. Like they're trying to like pare that back a little bit. I doubt they really will, but I don't know. I think this is a pretty good reveal, and this is from like Infinity Ward, right? This is like the big Call of Duty reveal. I never put Call of Duty trailers on my videos, Mag, because I've been doing this for 8 some years. I never put Call of Duty on there. Hey, tighten up. Thank you so much for sending me a friend request. I saw it a second time now. Because Activision will copyright strike you if you use their trailer, but I edited it down a little bit, cut it around, and mix match it. And I was able to show it on my last video. So nice. I don't know. Do you care about Call of Duty, or do you think this is a good
dude?
reveal?
Of course, no, man, dude. I've been peddling that for the last ever since I spoke to some people over there at the studio, and they've been saying. Remember what I've been saying on the show? I'm like, I literally got to say this, that this game is going to be a graphical and performance showcase. Remember I talked about that like back in like April or whatever, and I'm like, dude, this one is going to be hot. A lot of people are excited about it. The studio's excited about it. Activision's excited about it. There's a lot of buzz around the game. It's going to be pretty damn good. From what everybody's saying, it's going to be a real banger this year. I've been peddling that for the last like 6 weeks, and I'm oh, dude, yeah, and even like what? I love Call of Duty. I mean, now the funny thing is, you didn't say that. You said that there were not going to be silly skins, and everybody's like, you see the comment section was funny. They're like, yeah, until season 2. It's like season 1 they'll keep it tame, and then season 2 it's going to be K-pop stars, folks, because it's in South Korea, right? We're going to get K-pop stars dancing around, with the little antennas and whatever the hell else they wear, and skimpy outfits preferably, maybe a little Gangnam Style. I don't know what's going to happen, but it'll be funny. But either way, I'm all for it, man. I can't wait to play it. I know obviously we're going to see more about it in this weekend. I always keep thinking in the summer, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, it's in like 72 hours. We will be seeing more about that game this week, and super excited about that. And I love Call of Duty. Good Call of Duties. I make fun of them for like some of the stupid online stuff with the ridiculous skins and whatever. But I mean, I still enjoy the game for what it is, and I always have. But this seems like it's going to be a little more serious. Back to what we like. Back to a serious storyline. Maybe there'll be a joke in there here or two, but this don't sound like by the trailers. That was pretty intense trailer, man. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, you've got a new supreme leader for North Korea, and he's younger, and it's really volatile, which is really cool. It's Call of Duty and Battlefield, like they try to like bring that kind of it hits too close to home thing, and like it's one of those things. Like everyone's like, there's no way that North Korea would do something like that, but if they did, it'd be really scary. So here it is, and I skipped last year's, but I play all of the Call of Duty campaigns. I think I've played almost every one except for World at War. Sorry, I missed that one. I need to go back and play it, but I didn't play last year's. But the year before was one of the best ones ever in years, and people have tried to say Call of Duty's down, Call of Duty's dead, it's over. It's like they couldn't be more wrong. It's going to be a huge moment. I want to really get into the logo thing, but before I do, I want to read a couple questions here. But we're going to talk about Fable being delayed, and I think this will be a short discussion because I'll just kind of tease this discussion that Craig Duncan in February of 2025. In February of 2025, he said, I know it's not what you want to hear, but we are not going to make 2025, so we're going to put the game out in 2026. I remember so many people saying, oh, don't worry, Colt, it'll be out like January 2026. I said, there's no way. If they don't think they can make a 9-month turnaround, like they had all of 2026 in front of them. They had all of 2025 in front of them. I remember you and I sat here on the show a year and a half ago, and we said, there's no way that Fable's coming soon because Craig Duncan's sitting there saying, we're not going to make it. So what ends up happening to get to the end of the thing is, once the game comes out in February of 2027, Craig Duncan actually asked for 2 full years of delay, which makes Fable a 7 to 8 year delay game. I want to talk about that. Just button that up in a moment. Let me get thanks. Shout out to Silent Cypher who did the meme of Mag and I as old guys in the Rascal Scooters. We have a group chat of the people that we're going to be hanging out with, so we've been kind of razzing each other and having a good time. Father Alex, thank you so much for the Canadian $2.79. Says, Mag, will you be eating a Asha Sharma poutine in LA?
What? Calm down, Father Alex. You're a man of the cloth with those assumedly dirty thoughts.
Well, no, maybe she's
she listens to the show, Alex. You got to be careful.
Something cool.
You should. You should say that on Magcast, not here, okay? She doesn't listen to Magcast. She listens to XNC, okay? So behave yourself. And go do the rosary right now and beg for forgiveness from the Lord. Father Alex
I'm
getting
thinking
all
about
wild in the chat.
I'm thinking about making T-shirts that said I tagged Asha Sharma in a tweet, and then like selling them all on the streets, and I'll sell 1 million billion of them. I have yet to tag Asha Sharma in a tweet. Not once have I done it, but some people are doing it like daily. Speaking of father,
like,
what?
No, I was gonna say like people are just like, hey, hashtag at or whatever at Asha Sharm. My dog is wearing a green sweater on the walk today, and like I'm like, oh my god, can you leave this? And it's not her, by the way, it's her team, but like still, it's she has like a social media people, but I'm like, leave them alone, man.
Yeah,
just let them do their thing.
But I know it's like, Asha Sharma, do you think should we put fluoride in our water? Is that good for? It's like, God, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Speaking of fathers, extra father leaves a small super chat, a very generous $5. He says, Gears creator here, holding out for E-Day, goated. Watch you almost every day, man. I keep getting more and more excited for this showcase. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Mag, you've seen Gears E-Day, or you
no
to see? Oh, okay.
No, I haven't seen it. No,
okay.
I just like talk to some of them, but like they're super excited about what they're going to show, but I actually haven't seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait. We'll talk about that in a bit. At Machine XP, thank you so much for the 2. Says, let's bring back shame. Shall we vote on it, Asha? Oh yeah.
Shame.
That's perfect for when I said I tagged Asha Sharma in a tweet. True
shame. Ding ding.
Yeah, True Hero, thanks for the 2. Says, Colt, what are you really hoping to see from E-Day? Horror, fear, scary, fright.
Yep.
I want to be scared to move around to the next corner before a battle kicks off. I want to be scared like I was.
Like Gears 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like Gears 1 and 2. It was a scary game. It was a horror game. It was basically a horror game with action in it, and it was scary. You were afraid to walk around corners because you didn't know what the hell was going to be there, or one of those stupid birds flying around or whatever the hell. And like,
krill.
Like, it was scary.
Yeah, the berserkers. And when you first play, like you were trying to get a grenade in the emergence hole because the game kind of tells you early on, if you don't close that, they'll just keep coming and you'll run out of bullets. And yeah, I remember Gears 1 was one of those games, Mag, where I was hurrying from chapter to chapter, hoping to get to the end because you didn't want to die, because when you die, you fell to pieces, and it was like, I want that back. Peter Sark, Peter the Leader, great fan of Xbox and a very prominent a FanFest goer. Thank you so much for the $20 super. He said, I'm so excited for Modern Warfare 4, really hoping for a collector's edition. I still want a Punisher skin in the game.
That'd be dope.
That would be really, really cool, yeah. I would like for Modern Warfare 4 to have some Xbox themed stuff, or not Xbox, but franchises from get some Gears themed stuff in there, some Halo stuff, get some Fable, get a guy dressed like the Fable guy and walking like a woman, stuff like that. We're looking for stuff like that in the game, right, Mag?
Season 2 and on, you'll get it. Trust me. Yeah, season 2 and on, you'll get it.
Machine XP, thanks for the 2. He says, someone once said, let the games do the talking. Who was that?
I can't remember.
I remember that statement.
I remember that too. That's, it's funny. Like we both remembered. I'm like, oh yeah.
It was
Jim
Ryan, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Jim Ryan. Yeah.
Was it Jim?
Yep.
Johnny Carson himself?
Yep. Let the games do the talking. Let the games do the talking. Colteastwood is now sending a Google search query while he's on the show. It's time to let the games do the talking was used by former Jim Ryan, PlayStation boss, in 2020 ahead of the PS5. Yep. He says,
all right.
Let's let the games do the talking. What do we fall, Master Wayne?
No, mate. Did he do it in Jason Statham's voice? Let the games do the talking, all right. You know what I mean?
That's so good.
He's the only man on earth that could turn 6 words into 1 word. You know what? Do you know what I mean? Jason Statham could say it 1 word. No, mate.
I'm a beekeeper.
It's 1 word.
I'm a beekeeper, and I'll let the games do the talking. It's like that.
The games do the talking.
I've yet to watch a Statham movie that I don't like.
Dude, they're all awesome.
They're awesome.
They're ridiculous, but awesome. The mechanic, the beekeeper, the whatever, the ice cream truck driver, the plumber, whatever. Like whatever movie he's in, and he just beats the living snot out of everybody. I'm totally good with it. I don't care about the story.
Did you see that comedian that told Jason Statham he should do a movie called The Librarian? What did I just tell you about being quiet? Yeah, it's awesome. I love Statham.
Dude,
Hobbs and Shaw is a fun movie.
Yeah, they all rock.
Danny Passion, thanks for the 9 months super. He says, I finally got the Legion Go after having ROG Ally X since the Legion Go 2 is fire, he said. The ROG Ally announced a ROG Ally X20 with an OLED screen and some gold adornments or whatever. And I'm like, I mean, I love mine.
Screen, I think, too, right?
Yeah, OLED.
Isn't it a bigger screen?
Bigger
like
screen,
an 8-inch screen or something or whatever, but...
Yeah, it's so funny because my phone's not clean, but I have the Galaxy Plus or whatever they call it, the one with the stylus, and I put it up to my ROG Ally, and I was like, oh, geez, the screen's like the same size.
Yeah.
Because the ROG Ally's huge, Kiel, thank you so much for sending me a Xbox friend request. I can't even think. And the super for a 5. We appreciate it so much. Says, North Korea is what they use because they're afraid of the CCP and losing the Chinese market. I mean, I've seen lots of games. Aren't the Chinese, they've been enemies in some games?
Not in Call of Duty, though. Like, because Call of Duty's pretty big, and they get quite the audience or whatever else. Yeah, they probably don't want to, rock the boat too much with them.
Yeah, what they probably just give it a different name, right? They just kind of.
I wonder if Kim Jong-un is going to play it. Because, he, has, all this secret stuff where, he's obsessed with, Americana and stuff. Like, he's got, Hollywood movie posters in his, private theater, and he watches, all the action movies. Like, he loves all, the American action movies. And I wonder if he just, is going to play that and just, it's going to be, a wet dream of his, for North Korea to invade South Korea. He's
He's like, oh, I don't know who to root for in this campaign.
Yeah.
Danny Passion, thanks for the 2. He'll showcase better be fire. I'm pretty sure it will be. I mean, if you're putting out
a
reveal trailer for Call of Duty, it means you got some really cool stuff to show. Wagerman, one last one, we'll get into it. Wagerman, thank you so much for the 10. Can't wait to see you in Los Angeles just a couple days. He says, here's 10. You can use it for a beer in LA. Don't worry, Mag. I'll get a scooter too. Looking for Clockwork Revolution at the showcase. Sounds like it'll be there. We'll talk about it. I said a bunch of crap. I did the whole setup for Fable, and then I made people wait, but What's your opinion on the Fable delay? Because you put out a video and you've got a little bit of
well, there's other. It's not just GTA. The game wasn't ready, and there was the game wasn't ready, and not only that, I've talked about it damn near a year ago, and I think I did a video about it. I'm not sure, but definitely talked about it. Talking about how the teams at Playground weren't playing nice with each other with the engine, so they were, you know what I mean, like for reserving time to be able to utilize their tech and all that kind of stuff, and the engine use and everything else. And the Forza team wasn't playing nice with the Fable team, and the Fable team wasn't getting priority. And then Forza came out first; that was their priority, and now they're starting to get in priority again. But the game wasn't coming along as quickly as it was supposed to, and it wasn't ready. And the thing is, even when I saw in January, I said it looks all right, but it didn't look like ridiculous. Like it didn't blow me away. I was like, it just kind of looks like a not as good version of Hogwarts Legacy. So I mean, I wasn't impressed by it. I wasn't impressed. And I said it a million times. I said it looks okay, but I said it's not blowing my socks off. The funny thing is, Cole, when you put up that AI, was it an AI video? With
I took
the fake Fable?
I took the 4 concept arts that were actually created by Playground, and I brought them to life with Grok. Yeah.
Yes.
Whoops,
dude. I thought that was it. Like I didn't read your headline. I just saw the clips. I'm like, what's Colt got going on? And I saw those, and I'm like, dude. I'm like, that's Fable? I'm like, that looks incredible. And I was just like, I was totally blown. And then when they showed the real thing, I was like, oh. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, whatever. They still got lots of time. They got a whole year, whatever. We'll see how it goes. But then we kept hearing like throughout the year, and it says like, nah, they ain't making it. And then when I spoke to my people, they were adamant, even after the developers came out and saying, no, we're coming out in autumn. I spoke to the guys who actually make the real decisions, and they're like, no, it's not. They've been telling me that for months.
They were even doubling, down on social media, their social media account. Autumn 2026.
Which was ridiculous.
Let's talk about the.
Well, the funny thing is, I talked to somebody about that, and I'm like, why do they keep saying it? And they're like, they shouldn't be. It's because they're not the ones who are making the decisions. And it's like they shouldn't be doing that. But hey, that's none of my business. I don't work there, but I don't want to get involved in that drama. But I was told over and over again it wasn't going to be ready for 26, and that stance never changed, and that came from management. So it is what it is. So there was no shock to me. I was surprised at the way that it was done, like at that little interview when Matt Booty was there or whatever, and then he said the delay, and then immediately the girl in the thing, she's like, yeah, so the showcase is like, didn't even address it. Just like immediately when he said the delay, he goes, that's why we're moving it to February 2027. And she goes, okay, well, yeah, so the showcase. And like literally just,
gosh,
I've never seen a broom. I've never seen a broom shove something so far and fast under the carpet in my life. It was like, and it was like, see you later. And I'm like, anyways. And it was just like, what do you mean, wait, anyways?
I mean, why
can we not address that for a second?
I got a couple of issues with the Matt Booty reveal of the release date being delayed. But the one thing I want to talk about in a moment is the Grand Theft Auto nonsense. But first, I just want to say, I don't think they should have addressed the delay at all. If they were planning on delaying the game yet again, I know they want to get ahead of it and they want to be transparent, but a week before your showcase, it did nothing but set the internet on fire, and Xbox dead. Dreamcast guy had a video out immediately. And I'm not talking about like protecting reputation or anything, but there is no reason for Matt Booty to say, so we've decided to delay the game again. They already planned and have a trailer for Fable at the showcase, Mag. I think they should have shown us a really great trailer, and then the announcer should have said, and one more thing, they like, the funny, they do this tongue-in-cheek thing and say, and just to make sure it's really good, we're gonna make you wait another 6 months or whatever, and then bam, slap you with the, and make it kind of like embarrassingly, oops, we got to say it, and then bang, there's a February 17th, like an actual release date, because right now they're just saying February 20.
February 17th. What's up, Meet the Cheetah? How you doing?
That's why I said it.
So there, I do like RPGs very much.
Yeah, and Mag's not saying the game's not going to be great, but obviously,
no, I just said it wasn't impressive. The showing, the showing was not impressive to me. I was like, all right, it looks okay, but I said it didn't blow my socks off.
The combat,
it looked like it needed more work. It looked like it needed more work. That's all.
Combat showed, fencing like stab, swipe, parry, and then a fireball, and like that was there was like a little bit. No, there wasn't levitation in the direct. There was just a fireball and a bow and arrow, or like crossbow. I'm like, you have a lot more. I know there's gonna be a lot more magic, but you're not showing any of it because you're like, well, we don't want to spoil that until people actually unlock those powers. But guess what? It makes your game look super pedestrian. And I was fairly impressed with the game, but I see where Meg's coming from totally.
That was what I was saying. Like, sell the sizzle, dude. Sell the sizzle. Like, even if you don't unlock that till like 30 hours in the game or something, I don't know, whatever, 10 hours in the game, then, sell the sizzle. Because at the same time, like when you saw the Hogwarts Legacy trailer, which this is what I liken it to because it's very similar. You're out there ripping Sectum Sempras and like, you know what I mean? And like, and like,
is that when you pull the nose ring down too fast or something? Is that what that magic trick is?
Sempra is...
No, Meg's right. Meg, you're right. Because when I remember I was like, oh, Hogwarts, I don't think I want to play a Harry Potter game. And then I saw like Patronus, all this stuff, and everybody's flying up in the air.
Dudes and crush, like
lightning, wind, and fire. Yeah, and I was like, okay, this looks awesome. Fable did none of that. They're holding all that back. They're not selling the sizzle. So
that's not a good move.
The point I wanted to make was they shouldn't have come out in front. They also shouldn't have come out in front about the logo thing. They should have just shown it and deal with it later, because now you've got 6 days of people going, Xbox is back to their old tricks, and maybe they are. We'll cover that. But Fable's delay, let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 6, Meg, because you and I weren't buying this for a second. And I'll just say before I give it to you, Fable was not delayed because of Grand Theft Auto 6, because they've known for 10 months that November 15th or whatever is Grand Theft Auto. So I want to hear your take on this. Yeah, 19th.
Yeah, I mean that kind of likens to what I already talked about earlier about it not being ready, and then utilizing something so easily like a catalyst like GTA 6 and be like, well, let's just say that. Now the thing is, there is a little bit of truth to it too. You don't want to be anywhere near it, and that's something that I've always been vehemently talking about over the last year and a half. I'm like, where the hell do you put Fable? We literally kept debating this for like a year. Where the hell do you put Fable from September to November? And they said the only thing you could do is December. Now the other thing is nobody wanted this because December's a rough time of year. Apparently, the games don't tend to move well during that time of year, which is kind of crazy to me. But the thing is, I didn't realize, and something I didn't think about, is that GTA 6 is going to drop November 19th. That's just the campaign. They usually traditionally drop the online about 30 days later, give or take, right?
Yeah.
So that being the case, in December, the world is going to, well, most of the world is going to start playing GTA Online, and you know what I mean? And that's going to take the world by storm. So GTA 6 is going to take 2 months of mindshare. 1 month for the campaign, or the last couple of weeks of November, and then and then December as well. It's going to go into December.
Good point.
And then when GTA Online drops, everybody and their mothers are going to be on there trying to stream or play or get together with their friends and this and that. Right, and the grandmas, and see what else they want to, see what new features are in the online world. And of course, they're going to have a much more detailed world with so many more activities. There's so many activities, so many things that you can actually do in the game or whatever else. So that's going to take the mind share for all of December as well. So that would have been a disaster. January, hit and miss. February seems to be the better time to release games when you're talking about like, your Resident Evil sell well during that time of year. Some other games that used to come out during that time, I believe Dying Light it was Dead Island came out during that time.
Somebody said to me, when you said Capcom, or you're talking about Resident Evil, someone said to me, Colt, there's no way that Playground is able to put out 2 big AAA games in 1 year. They need to wait and put it to February.
Sure they can.
Like, Capcom's about to put 3 if Onimusha makes it. 4?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, because Monster Hunter Stories or something. Apparently,
Monster
that did
Hunter
really
Stories,
well too.
Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, and then maybe Onimusha. Which I don't know if it'll make it.
They keep saying that. Well, I mean, we're going to see Capcom this Saturday. So they claim it's still coming 2026. And they're like, we ain't done with 2026 yet, or whatever that tagline they put on social media, right? So I'm like, okay, butts. Yeah, they're ready. And like, you know what? Capcom is confident. They got their chest out. And they're just like, here it is, man. And they're rocking it. Like, it's not like they're releasing mediocrity here. They're releasing like Game of the Year nominees / winners with almost with all 3 releases so far. So like, you know what I mean? It's going to be pretty amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty amazing. So yeah,
we
I don't see them not dropping it.
We weren't buying the Grand Theft Auto thing for a minute. Unless he's being honest and saying we would have had to put Fable in December, but we didn't want to do that. But why not say that? Like say, it was almost ready, but we thought December wasn't a good time. We want the game to have like everybody be ready to play it. But like, how do you say that without sounding like we're not ready? We're not good enough. We got behind, and it was just obvious. Then I know Special Nick had heard for a while that the game was iffy on its release date. It just drove me crazy, Meg, that Insomniac was like, it was like February or something this year. They're like, Wolverine, September 15th or whatever, right? And they held on to that. And then here's Xbox going, Gears, Halo, and Fable, and Forza this year, and you've got Gears E-Day, and they're going to wait till the Direct to give us a release date. It's like, why? It screams timid and a lack of confidence. Where's your release date? Like, Grand Theft Auto's like, here it is. Wolverine, here it is. And it's not against PlayStation and Xbox. There's other people who've had their release dates out there. You could say that way early in the year, like, we don't know about Grand Theft Auto, but they're cemented in, and Wolverine's going to be a big game for everyone. It's going to be a big moment for everyone, and they don't want to say anything. I feel like Gears is like September 1st or September 3rd or something. Like they want to squeak in there and give you 2 weeks with the game so you can turn around when you're done with Gears and then play Wolverine and then go back to Gears and play multiplayer, hopefully. Like that's what they're hoping. I think it's going to happen, but you're right. There was no place for Fable. Oh,
it was just no place
gosh.
for it anyway. So regardless of like the background drama or whatever else, if you actually look at it logically, like we've done a million times, there was nowhere to put it that you're going to have it like a little bit of space to breathe, which is funny because Matt Booty actually said the word for word what I said. We need to give it time to breathe. And I'm like, dude, can you just hire me? I'm way cheaper. I'm way cheaper than those guys you're paying.
They
Pay me
started
less.
this game in 2019, bro. What do you want? Why do you need like 8 years?
No. I'm just saying, ignoring all the actual other stuff. I'm saying ignoring like issues with development and stuff like that. I'm just talking about the release date stuff. So to compartmentalize it, just to talk about that specifically, I'm saying that's the kind of game you want to give it time to breathe and give it its time to shine. However, there's another angle here that's going to cause a little bit of an issue. And the longer you wait, the more pressure you're putting on the game now, because now everybody's going to be expecting absolute, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I said before, it's the Star Wars Episode 1 effect. It's the George Lucas effect. George Lucas talked about it in 98. He said when he was doing that interview for whatever, the magazine, and he's like, I can't live up to the expectations of what anybody wants. He goes, I can't do it. I said, because you've been waiting 16 years for this or whatever, 13 years, 14 years for this movie. He says, you just keep building it up in your own head, and your expectations are so unrealistic and lofty at this point, we won't be able to match that.
I mean, let's be honest. Phantom Menace was nothing like the worst original trilogy movie. So, I mean,
right. But you know what I'm saying? Like the idea is there. I still call it the Episode 1 effect, is that the longer it takes, the more that people build up more in their minds that they will never be able to meet the expectations of the people now, because it keeps getting built up and built up and built up. Right?
Can I give you a very late 80s reference that it makes me think of? Remember the show Mr. Belvedere? I don't know if you
of course I would. I love that. I love that show.
So, thank you. My kid brought me some ice. Thank you. Thank you all. Tip your waitress. So, Mr. Belvedere, they had a son that was like 7 or 8 years old, and he was like, I always wanted a puppy. I want a puppy. I want a dog. I always want a puppy. And they waited and waited and waited, and the dad finally got him one. And it was just the one line I always remembered. He's like, you should have got me a puppy when I really wanted one. Now I really don't care. And he was kind of being an ungrateful kid. But I'm like, it makes me think about, when you're so hungry, you're not hungry anymore. And I know people will say, I'm not hyped about this game anymore because it just keeps getting delayed. People say that about Cyberpunk or Grand Theft Auto. But what are you going to do? The game can't come out when it's not ready. And
yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's another angle.
And they're
definitely you can't release it in half-assed state either. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to be around GTA. But then at the same time, the longer it takes, the more pressure gets put on the company, because now every microscope on planet Earth is all going to be staring at that game standing alone in February, presumably standing alone in February, right? So if it is now, every single magnifying glass, every microscope, everybody's going to be watching every detail now when it drops.
Better be good.
It's going to be ridiculous, right? And they will never be able to match that. So they'll never be able to match those expectations. Like you look at something like, I'll bring up Hogwarts Legacy again. People had almost no expectations of that game because they're like, who the hell's Portkey and what is this game? They saw the trailers. They're like, oh, this looks awesome. But
I feel like it was like a year away from reveal to when we started playing.
That's what I'm saying. So they didn't release the trailers too early. And then when they did show, they're like, man, this Portkey team, whoever the hell they are, the mobile team. I'm like, these guys can cook, man. Like, look what's going on here. And then not that much later, the game dropped. And then and so people weren't building too much, but it was still a Harry Potter IP. And there's obviously a rabid fan base. It's actually one of the biggest IPs on the planet, if not still the biggest IP on the planet right now for pop culture.
That's a scary
Everything
charge
else
to
has
make
sort of
too,
died off.
Right? Can you imagine being in charge of one of the biggest franchises and you can really F it up?
I wouldn't want to be.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be. If I were HBO right now, I'd be pooping my pants.
NC said it was Avalanche. Yeah, it was Portkey was the publisher, and then Avalanche.
Sorry, yeah. It
was a different Avalanche studio, not the one that makes Just Cause and Contraband. Yeah. I want to talk about
Contraband.
I want to shift to gear and talk about Matt Booty saying we're not going to hide the logos. We're going to be transparent. I'm going to say again, I don't think he should have said anything because he just gave everyone a full week to crap on Xbox for their poor choice of decisions. I will also say that I wasn't listened to. I directly said those logos shouldn't be there, and we're going to get into it why. But Asha Sharma's response to Clobro complaining about the PlayStation and Nintendo logos being at the showcases, Asha Sharma said, we will be looking at this for future shows, which I assume means we're going to not do this after showcase, and they're not going to make a quick pull on the e-brake. But I have a lot to say about this, Mag, but I better let you go first because you and I probably have a very different opinion of what should be happening with the logos and what it means. So give us a setup and tell us what's going on.
Okay, so obviously we all know what happened, everybody. We saw the interview, we saw the talk about it, whatever. I did a video on it as well as the Fable thing, 2 separate videos that day. But either way, we talked about the logo wars. Now, if you look at it and you try to break it down, the entire situation, you have the one idea that where I was thinking at one point, I'm like, listen, man, if you paid for it, you put the money up for it, nobody else paid you. You put all the production together, the editing, the filming, the vertical slices, all that jazz, the licensing, paying for the venue, and bringing people into fan fest and all this other stuff, whatever. They paid a lot of money to put this whole thing together. It's the 25th anniversary and all that jazz, right? I would think that at that point, you don't put anything on there. You just say, you just say whatever. You show the game, and that's all there is to it, and say this is on Xbox and Windows or whatever. And then the thing is, after the fact, you have everyone else who's going to have the game, like whether it's PlayStation, whether it's Steam, whether it's Epic, whether it's Nintendo Switch 2, they can do blogs and do whatever they want after. Right after the show, they could say, they did that with Halo, did they not? Or I can't remember because it was like right after they revealed Campaign Evolved, PlayStation released something on Twitter saying, you could pre-order Halo on PlayStation today or something like that, or whatever the hell it was. Or maybe they talked about it afterwards because the dude was wearing the Halo shirt. So, I mean, you could do all of that too. So, like, it wasn't... Now, here's the thing, though. So that's the way I look at it. If you paid all the money, the production, and everything else like that, you should put your own name on it. And, like, say, listen, man, if you guys want to advertise, it's totally cool, but you could do it after we're done our show because this is our show. So that's one train of thought. The other... And then, of course, like I said, let them advertise afterwards. Okay? There's that. Then there's the other thought of, well, we might as well get it out there that it's going to be shown on everything. And because then you get more eyeballs on the showcase, because now you're going to get people who are not interested in Xbox, who have other consoles or whatever, or PC, and now they know that they're going to have access to those games. They'll watch the showcase. That helps bolster their numbers, get more people to look at it, check out the games. So there is that angle too. And then there's the other angle. And the other angle is, well, when do you say something? And the thing is, it says, do you rip off the Band-Aid a week before, let everybody crap on them all week, and then leading up to the showcase so that it kind of loses a little bit of its steam there, no pun intended? Or do you not say anything and then show it at the showcase, and then all the people who are there live have meltdowns in front of everybody, and then that'd be even more embarrassing because can you imagine someone in the crowd just going like, what the you know what I mean? And they're standing there like this going, we hope you like the show, and then they all run away, and then like their handlers are like fighting off people,
but I don't
and
like
you know
that
what I mean?
console. Yeah
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a difficult situation. Now, what I had heard, and this is something that's actually not many people were talking about, which is funny because everybody's pointing the fingers at those two, right? The two leaders. What they didn't realize is actually the developers are the ones who wanted the logos on there. And that's something that not a lot of people are talking about. I don't
buy that for a second.
Dude, it's Bethesda. I'll tell you who it is. Bethesda and Activision.
Yeah.
Their staff wanted the logos on there.
Okay, here's one of the pitfalls.
They've been at that shit for like 5 years now, dude. Look at Game Pass. They were already pissed about Game Pass.
Yes,
sorry, go on.
That's right. Mag's right. This is one of the pitfalls of this discussion. Mag is funneling the discussion into Xbox's first-party games. My discussion with Xbox leadership is not about their exclusives. It's about all of the effing games at their showcase. Okay? So I'm going to paint the picture for you. Xbox is a fledgling, floundering platform and ecosystem. Xbox is shown. Let's pretend at showcase Respawn's like, hey, we want you to be the world premiere for the next Jedi game. Like, you're going to show it, and everyone knows it's going to be on everything. When you put the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch logo on there, on your show, you're telling the world, hi, we're Xbox. Here's a brand new game. Go buy it from whoever you want. And here's the problem that I've been telling people. This logo gate is not about if it's exclusive or not, or bragging rights or list wars or deceiving people into thinking it's only on Xbox. This is about, and I told them directly, this is about advertising the game for your ecosystem. Right now, the Xbox PC app gets 2% of the multiplats on their storefront. The only time you get a mainstream game on Xbox PC is when it's Play Anywhere. But when you're talking about something like the next Jedi game from Respawn, or they show, let's say they reveal Assassin's Creed Hex, the Witch game that's coming out in a couple years, they reveal it at the Xbox Showcase. If you put the Xbox logo, if you say Xbox and PC, what people are looking for is it Game Pass or do I have to buy it? So if you put the Xbox logo, you increase your chances of people buying that game and advertising it in your ecosystem. And when people were giving me the exclusive argument, I said, what are you going to do when down the road, when Xbox continually markets for other platforms where they make zero money? If you buy the next Respawn Jedi game on the Xbox gets 30% of that sale. That continues to make that platform healthy and viable and profitable. And it's like Fawn's Gaming in the chat. I said, why do you want exclusives? You're on PC. Like, you don't need them. He goes, I'm not talking about exclusives. He goes, I want the Xbox platform and ecosystem to be healthy and stay alive so it can continue. Because I'm like, what happens? I told this one guy that Fonz and I were talking to. I said, what happens when the ecosystem starts to die out and developers, one after another over the next couple of years, start saying, we're not going to make a version on the Xbox. And you go into Helix, where it's basically a PC and Xbox version all in the same one. They're like, yeah, we just don't feel like it's worth it because we don't have as many sales on the Xbox platform. So we're going to wait or maybe not make an Xbox version. And this snowball effect goes up. This is exactly why I say Xbox needs to advertise for their own ecosystem instead of saying, go buy it from Nintendo or PlayStation. We're transparent. We're kumbaya, my lord. That's not what it's about. They're being stupid by saying, hey, buy it from whoever you'd like. Hey, if our ecosystem dies out, I guess we did it to ourselves. Do I sound crazy?
No. Those are your thoughts and feelings on the entire situation. Doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't sound like it at all. Like, I mean, if you're going to go for it, go for it. But the thing is, they're getting pushback from within their own company, because what happens is when Bethesda was being one of them, when they were acquired, a lot of the staff were like, a lot of our bonuses and stuff are based on sales, and now we're going into a subscription service. We don't want this, and they were openly talking about how they don't want this. And that has been a discussion that's been going on for 5 years. This is not new. They were talking about it before. You can go back and like just scrub through all the news reports and stuff. And there were people talking about how Bethesda was not happy about putting their stuff in a subscription service.
They're not happy about Starfield.
Specifically for that reason.
Even though
they were not happy about Starfield going in there. Right. Well, there's that too. Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
yeah. They were happy to take that money, but that was a different time when before they were acquired and whatever else. And Bethesda wasn't doing so hot overall. They needed the money. But either way, at that point, you look at it and it's like, okay, well, here's the thing. Then you have to look at Activision. Same thing happened when the ABK deal finally went through. A lot of their developers said the same thing. They're like, we don't want to be in a subscription service. We don't want Call of Duty in there. We don't want fill in the blank in there, because like we get a lot of our bonuses are done on production sales of the game.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, how are you going to rework it now? Are you going to rework it? Like, how many people are actually in the subscription service accessing the game? Are you going to do something different for us? And from my understanding is that they did not. And that it's causing dissent in the ranks there, and a lot of them want them to see it. Now, the other thing is, I talked about in my video, how funny is it that when they did announce it, did you see how giddy they are when they announced it was going to say, we've been waiting a long time for this to go to PlayStation and this and that. There's a reason for that. That wasn't an accident. Like, don't you see what's happening?
Well, I see where the developers are
because they're going to start
from.
selling their games again, and that's why and this is not coming from me. This is coming from the people that actually work there, and they're not happy about it. And that's exactly what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Meg's making a really great point when it comes to the internal in-house studios and exclusivity, but that's not all of the discussion when it comes to Logo Gate, right? And when we talk about Logo Gate, like when Machine Games, like, we're happy to announce that Indiana Jones is coming to PlayStation. and they're smiling and they're excited. Well, I mean, they should be. Their game is going to more people, but you got to look at it from chat and audience. You got to look at it from Machine Games perspective. They look at Xbox, and 3/4 of the sales of 3/4 of potential sales of Indiana Jones are probably going to be on PlayStation. And if the game's not on PlayStation, 50 to 75% of those sales they're not going to happen until it goes to PlayStation. So we're happy to announce that we're going to get like a double or more increase of people who are going to see our game and play it and give us feedback and tell us how great it is, and on top of sales and bonuses and all that stuff. But when it comes to the other games that that they don't make, a lot of people said, and I thought this is what you're getting at, Mag, but you weren't. But a lot of people said there's contractual obligations, Colt. Contractual obligations say all the logos need to be on there. I'm like, bullshit. Bullshit that Xbox has to put everyone's logos at the bottom, because go to State of Play, go to Nintendo Direct. It never has all the other logos. You never see an Xbox logo or a PlayStation logo on those respective shows for their competition, because it's just business 101. Hey, this is our show. Like Meg said, we made this show. We put it together. We're paying for it. We took the money from the developers and publishers to showcase their game and world premiere it. And our number one priority is coming to our console or coming to our platform, because
sure, it's your
80% of the money that PlayStation makes, I'm pulling this number out of my rear end, but I bet it's not far from the truth. 80% of the money that PlayStation makes every year comes from selling other people's games that they didn't make and they didn't publish. And they do that by funneling people into their ecosystem and having them play their games there on PlayStation and buy them. And if PlayStation, here's the bullshit that pisses me off about these kumbaya content creators are like, I think it's great when games are for everyone gets to know where their games are going to be, and you don't have to go Google it or look up the other channel. I don't like, honestly, I mean, I'm with them. I don't like having to look up to see, is that Blood Message game, is that going to be on Xbox and PC, or is that PlayStation only? And I got to look it up and I got to dig, and I finally, okay, cool. I'm going to play that where I want. I understand that. But it's bullcrap that they say all that, but I've never once heard these MFers say, when is PlayStation going to put other platforms at the end of their trailers? When is Nintendo going to be transparent and show their games? The same thing as them all saying, when is PlayStation going to put all their games on Xbox and keep them on PC? When is, like, they never say this. And there's this bullcrap thing. The other thing I want to say is Xbox has such a massive fault in this, because they act like only PlayStation matters when it comes to selling more game copies, because for 10 years, Xbox's games have been available on Xbox console, which is a pool right now of 30 million people. And if it's cross-gen, you're talking like 60 million people. And then guess what, Mag? They've always sold their games since 2019 on Steam, which is which is bona fide the biggest pool of games purchasers ever on Steam and PC. And then they act like we can't do anything. We can't breathe until we start supporting our games with PlayStation. And I know PlayStation guys buy a lot of games, but what Xbox appears to be doing is saying, we're not going to make it in this world until we let PlayStation guys buy our games. And I always think, but you're available to 250 million people on Steam, always day one to buy your games. And so I totally think this is why I think Xbox can bring back some form of exclusivity. I'm sorry, this is a lot, Mag, but their games are on their consoles, and then they're on PC through Steam. And I don't think, Alex was trying to razz us the other day. Like, he pulled us up on their live stream and he thought, oh, I'm going to roast these fanboys. And then he ended up agreeing with 95% of the things we said, especially with everything you said. And he thought that you and I would say, get them off of Steam. Let's only Xbox. And I don't feel that way. I love that those games are on Steam. I'll play them on the Xbox PC app for the achievements and stuff like that. But whatever. Xbox really needs to fix this logo situation. Okay. Yeah, I got fired up.
All good.
I apologize.
That's all good. You sound like you're fired up. I wasn't going to interrupt you. I'll just let you go. So no. That's
as I ride in the scooter
of
the basket of your scooter.
I see some incredibly angry people in the chat. People are losing their minds, and I'm like,
let
guys,
us know.
We're just telling you like it is, man. But like, it is what it is. But the thing is, at the end of the day, I've seen some of the most ridiculous things. Like, well, then PlayStation should show Xbox. First of all, PlayStation games aren't going to Xbox, so that's never going to happen. So the only time it's going to happen is with multiplayer games. They did talk about that, but Sony is a different company than Microsoft. They don't operate the same way. They may have different rules. I don't know if they're unionized. I don't know what's going on. I know that the Xbox guys have all been unionized. That's another thing, by the way. Have you seen them all unionizing one by one? Bethesda unionized, ABK's unionized. All of a sudden, Double Fine just unionized 2 weeks ago. Did you know that? They're all doing it for a reason because they're scared that something's going to happen. So they're looking for job protection. And as a result of that, they have more pull than people realize. But that's what it's going on. But, at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about it. We can make our ideas and suggestions and whatever else and just say, hey, man, this is what I think. During their show, I think they should just show their own logos. That's all there is to it. When we talked about the exclusivity thing, which, by the way, was taken out of context on the other show there, on the weekend, is that what I was saying? I'm like, listen, if the Xbox fans want actual exclusivity, you got to pull it off of Steam. I said, because that's part of it. And they're like, well, you can't do that. They sell a lot over there. And I'm like, well, then you don't want exclusivity. It's no different than PlayStation, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So anyways, I'm just pointing all that stuff out. Just logic, that's all.
I can back them up a little bit. But I don't want games pulling off Steam. I think directly what they
I'm not. I don't want it either. I'm pointing out people who are saying that. And I'm like, guys, if you want that, then it has to be only on Windows and Xbox. That's what exclusivity is. So
we've said here that Steam is their direct competitor, but we really, a lot of fans don't want Xbox to help, push along the competing edge that PlayStation has. It's like you don't put your games on there, and maybe because I always think like it's not about you got to buy an Xbox. Like somebody would call me out for get an Xbox sucka, some meme that some guy made when Blade got revealed, but it's not get an Xbox. It's like literally, I say this all the time, literally play on anything instead of just a PlayStation console. And there is the games journalists, the media, they do this all the time. They act like, gosh dang it, why isn't this on PlayStation? They really feel like PlayStation is entitled to every single game release. And if it's not on there, what are we doing? Why aren't you putting the game on PlayStation? I get PlayStation is the de facto console. It's the most popular and everything, and it gets most every single game. But Xbox needs to have a reason for people to be within their ecosystem. I always say ecosystem.
Sure.
So I always say Xbox is available to nearly everybody because you can play on multiple devices, on all the handhelds. You can play all of Xbox's games. You can play on a small PC. You can play on a killer PC. You can play on their console. Series X and S games look amazing. Like, they give you the options. They're not locking you down to one place. But the logos things, when it comes to logos, I'll ask you again. I want to hear your straight take on this. Should PlayStation showcase a game from Capcom and be transparent and say, coming to Xbox, PlayStation?
See, that's where the companies differ. See, that's what, and Maverick actually pointed out in the chat. I wanted to say shout out to Maverick because he was absolutely right. He said, and where did he say it? He said it right here. Hold on. Give me a second. I just went back. Oh, here it goes. Oh no, he said hit the mother fudging like button. That's terrible. No, that's Magnum. Sorry, that was Magnum.
My language.
Anyways, BT Maverick
right
said something. He goes, sorry, I can't find it, but I'll paraphrase what he said. And he says, well, when PlayStation shows third-party games, they don't show an Xbox logo. And I'm like, yes, you're absolutely correct. Now, that is the way they play ball. So the thing is, if that's the way they play ball and you want to play ball with them, then you should play the same game as them. I agree. I think that you should play the same game and say, fine, if they're going to do that, because when they show Resident Evil Requiem, they certainly weren't going to show an Xbox logo at the State of Play when they showed Requiem. They just showed PlayStation. They got the marketing rights. They do this and that because they have balls.
I love it. Yes, they do. So, but they have balls, but why are they only showing the PlayStation logo? Tell the good people. We've got 800 people here watching, 818. Meg, tell them why PlayStation doesn't show the Xbox logo for a game that's everywhere.
Because when they run business, they don't run business the same way that Microsoft does. They run a business like no.
Okay,
we're paying for the advertising. We're paying for this. We got the advertising rights, the marketing rights. Well, we want only our logo on it, and that's been going on forever.
To what end? But tell the people why PlayStation doesn't put the Xbox logo on.
Because they want people to buy the damn box because that's the access to their storefront. But they got a different situation though. Here's the other thing. Yes, you're right there. Now the other situation is that Sony's got only one access point to the storefront. Whereas Xbox has like what 9 now, you know what I mean? With all the different access points, if you include the handhelds and the OEMs and PC and Steam and Epic and whatever, right? All these different access points. It's like, well, shoot, how do you narrow it down? So the thing is, yeah, that's why PlayStation does that too, because they have one access point and one access point only. It's the damn box. So they do that. But the thing is, the way that they run their company, they run it aggressively. They're not friends with anybody. The minute Xbox is anywhere near the ground, Sony's not going to be like, here, let me help you guys up. You know, we have to make sure the industry's healthy. No. They're going to step on their neck. You know what I mean? Because they're
trailer. What does the Fable trailer on the PlayStation YouTube say at the very end?
It just says PS5.
What does, if you buy Fable
I saw that, by the way.
store-
Someone pointed that out. They're like, Meg, did you see the Fable thing on the thing? It just says PS5. It doesn't say Xbox Series, or it just says PS5.
What does it say on the PlayStation Store when you buy Forza Horizon 5? Who does it say it's published by?
It says PlayStation 5. It says published by whatever Playground or whatever, but it does not say Xbox. Nothing.
It says Microsoft Corporation.
Microsoft Corporation,
which is a total
I thought it was Playground. Yeah.
Which is a total card out of the book from like the games journalists, where
the only thing they can't avoid is like when you launch up a game and it says Xbox Game Studios when you're actually playing the game, obviously, because
there's somebody in the server
logo
going,
shows up. Yeah,
with the wire trying to stop
their
it.
advertising doesn't show nothing. And someone pointed out, like, Meg, did you see this? And I saw it was said Fable and it said PS5.
Yeah.
Then if you want to compete with them, then you have to play the same game they're playing. If not, then you're gonna expect backlash. Like, that's just the way it's gonna be, because people want them to be as aggressive as the way PlayStation is and Nintendo is. Like, you see how bullish they are? They're like, here's our product, this is what we're charging, and then they don't answer you. They don't talk on social media, they don't have a parasocial relationship with anybody. They just put out their stuff and they're like, take it or leave it, and then they shut the door, and then that's it. And then what ends up happening is you open that door cold, it turns into a backlash, people fighting and this and that. I personally couldn't care less. But like, it doesn't affect me at all. I'm just like, okay, it's there. But I understand the business side of it and the optics of it. The optics are not good when you see that you have other options that will not make Xbox as much money as they possibly could, or get more people locked into their ecosystem by giving them, the options to go to competitors, or in the very least stay with their competitors, because they'll be like, oh, well, I guess I'll just keep my PlayStation and just whatever. But that was something they're going to have to wrestle with now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like I said before, it all is going to boil down to, listen, we could talk about this till we're blue in the face. Everybody in the chat can argue and fight and this and that, whatever. But the thing is, at the end of the day, bro, is that if they don't sell well on PlayStation this year with the flagship titles, then you can expect some changes. But I think that if Steam and PlayStation are going to sell well this year, I don't think you're going to see any changes. And I think they pretty much showed their hand at that point. Yeah, and I don't think you'll see anything.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. I mean, there are going to be some changes, but I don't know how happy we'll be with them. But Magnum in the chat says no. It says Xbox Game Studios in the store. I went to Forza Horizon 5. It says Microsoft Corporation. There might be some games, like, what's another game that, like Indiana Jones? Let me see.
It doesn't even say Playground Games or anything, or like Xbox Game Studios. It just says Microsoft Corporation.
I'll go for it. Sorry, the screens. I hate PlayStation and Xbox. They both have white web pages. Like, dude, come on, we're in the 2020s.
I'm gonna go to the PlayStation store right now because I'm
no, I mean, it says Microsoft Corporation. I don't see where. Let me check, like, Indiana Jones, which is
that's a good one. Check that one.
That'd be a good one to check because it's through Bethesda. I'll check Indiana Jones Circle. Clicking it now.
Yep, you're right. It says Microsoft Corporation. Does not say
Bethesda
Xbox
Softworks. So Bethesda Softworks, which is who publishes it, but when it's Xbox Game Studios, who are the publisher, they're putting Microsoft Corporation. So I want to read these supers because you guys have a lot of questions to add to this discussion. Thank you guys so much. True Hero, thank you for the 5. He says, when I was stationed in South Korea, we were given a brief on if North Korea attacked, the plan was to retreat to Seoul, blow the bridges, and make a final stand. Holy crap, that would be scary.
Yeah, that would be scary. I wouldn't want any part of that. By the way, you're right. There's no Xbox anywhere on any of those. I gotta check Avowed now.
It might be on the console, but I'm looking on the browser because I'm not going to
like when you launch the game, after you've purchased the game and you launch the game, it has the Xbox Game Studios logo shows up. That's obviously unavoidable because it's baked into the game, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at I just looked at like Indiana Jones, Forza, I'm looking at Avowed now, and Avowed says Microsoft Corporation. You see what I'm talking about, guys? They're playing hardball.
I was going to say,
Xbox
Mag
is playing softball, T-ball. Right? These guys are playing hardball. They're like, I don't want to see an Xbox. Like you think those bigwigs in Japan are sitting there?
Microsoft Corporation for South of Midnight.
And they're going to, they're going to say, hey, we're thinking about putting Xbox on the logo. And they're going to be like, huh?
I mean, it's not even a logo. It's their font. It's just a standard font on their UI on their website.
They're not going to say that.
And it says Microsoft Corporation. Like, they don't have to have the logo. I made a joke the other day on Sony's podcast. I said, I'll bet you the PlayStation team doesn't even have the Xbox logo in their graphics library. Like, they're like, I mean, but that's how it is. And I would ask all of you here, if you were running a business, if you're selling a product, would you sit there on the one side of the table while people are coming up to buy your product and say, oh, we're also selling, other people are selling this, and you wouldn't get any money from that? It's not even being aggressive what PlayStation's doing. It's just actual, normal, reasonable, smart business to say, hey, let's advertise this for our storefront. And they do. They advertise like Xbox is there. But when you're telling people, like you made a good point. Like you said, there are going to be PlayStation fans watching Showcase because they know some games are going to come to their platform. And Xbox is capitalizing. Oh, hey, we're going to have PlayStation guys watching this, and they're going to find out, whoa, this game's being revealed. It's coming to my platform. They're going to buy it there. What do you got? I'm sorry, what are you seeing? Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2 on the Xbox
PlayStation
store says
Publishing
PlayStation
LLC.
Publishing.
Yeah.
It does not say Microsoft. It doesn't say Sony Corporation. It says PlayStation Publishing. And this is on the Xbox store.
So, yeah, some of it is aggressive.
Wow.
Some of it is petty. And you can tell what's petty. Silent Cyber, thank you so much for gifting 5 channel memberships and the $2 super. Says, have a great show, gentlemen. See you in a few days. Can't wait to meet you in person, man. It's going to be awesome. QL, thank you so much for the 5. Says, they should just be honest. Sorry, we don't want to release GTA 6 in their launch window. Meg and I don't really agree that it's, I don't know. If you weren't ready, you could have had it before, but they don't have a spot. So, yeah, I guess I see where you're coming from. But, gosh dang. Meg and I look at that game and go, yeah, another few months is probably good. So, I'm telling you, we better see it. There better be a preview in, like, November or December that somebody, like, hopefully I get a chance.
Showcase this Sunday?
They are, yeah. I don't expect it to look much different because, it's still a year out. It's still like 9 months out at that point. Real quick, Mag, I'll tell you, I remember Monday before we did the XNC, I got hands-on with Avowed. I got to play it for like the whole first level, and I played it for like 8 hours that day. People like IGN, the bigger outlets, got to preview it months before, and then they said they delayed it. So I got to play it when it was in the middle of delay. It felt incredible. And Destin, who played both versions, said it was night and day how much better the combat was when they were in the delay cycle. So I'm hoping that Fable just blows our faces off our skulls when it gets that delay. Sir C. Julius, thanks for the 5. Thank you so much for your support. He says, I agree with the Fable take. Definitely sell the sizzle. Look how Crimson Desert sold the game. Much love, fellas. Yeah, they showed everything. Remember, they showed the freaking dragon, which I still haven't gotten to. So,
yeah. Well, like I said, you're trying to sell the sizzle. When you're doing a trailer, you're supposed to sell the sizzle. And that's the whole point of it. The point of it is that you throw as much as you can at the screen without spoiling it. I mean, when you're watching a trailer for like a movie, sometimes they actually even show a snippet of like the end of the movie in the trailer. You didn't realize it till you're in the theater or you're watching it at home, and you're sitting there watching like the climax of the film. You're like, that was in the trailer. I'm like, that's wild. They showed that a year in advance because they're trying to sell you the sizzle. So like, show them the most advanced stuff, what you can do in the game eventually or whatever. You know what I mean? And not just like a sword, a shield, and a crossbow. That's not enough. Like, you got to show like bigger, badder stuff. Have a giant dragon come down on the screen and you're like looking up at it. Then the screen goes black. And then you hear like, you hear like the rattling breath of the dragon as it goes like,
There'll be no dragons.
And then it says Fable across the screen. That'd be dope. Like, you can make it like, oh, wow, that was epic. And then, like, you know what I mean? Even if it takes you 70 hours to get to that dragon, show it.
You should sell it. Yeah. Yeah.
Show it. Sell it. Show like you know what I mean? Like that you're gonna blow everybody's socks off and says, and like I said, even if it's not in the first half of the game, It's the potential of what you could face later in the game. That's what makes it important.
It kind of tells you,
that's what
like,
the trailer's all about.
Is this what Fable is? Is this it? Like kicking out a tenant and being rude to him and kicking a chicken? Is that it? I'm sure it isn't, but they held some stuff back. And it makes me wonder, is there much more? Like, is the extra you're holding back, like, pretty cool? And that's about it. And Illuminati 420, thanks for the 2, says, will Matt Ball, the hire, help sell the sizzle? I hope so.
I hope so. Isn't that what he was hired for? I mean, that's what he was hired for. So like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be like the hype man on stage. So like, when Eminem comes out and there's the other obnoxious guy screaming in the mic, then he's got to be doing out there doing that. They got to produce more enticing trailers, that kind of thing, and show confidence. That's the other thing. You mentioned it earlier about the lack of confidence. It's like they just seem like they're like scared to show something. Like, no, put it all out there and be
what
like,
if they don't like it? I get that from Xbox.
And just
sometimes.
be like, and
what if they don't like it?
Forget about tempering expectations. Be like, you know what I mean? Tap the chest and be like, let's go. You know what I mean? And like show your confidence. Remember what I told you behind the scenes? We had a conversation. Harrison Ford, when he was what's it called? It was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and he was there with Shia LaBeouf, and Shia LaBeouf was kind of crap talking the movie a little bit. He's like, it wasn't my best work, or this and that, whatever. Yeah. And so Harrison Ford dragged him to the side, and he said, "Let me teach you something about Hollywood, kid, and when it comes to productions of big movies and entertainment." He said, "It doesn't matter if it's good or if it's bad." Yeah, I can picture him doing it like this. It's like, let me tell you something,
punched him in the gut.
Yeah. And he said to him, he goes, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. He goes, you get out on that carpet and you sell it like it's the best movie you've ever seen and the best movie you've ever acted in. He goes, that's what you do. You have to sell it. And he gave him crap for that. And Shia LaBeouf talked about that later. And it was actually funny. But that's exactly it. Even if you're not 100% confident, you got to show like you're confident and just be like, yep, greatest game you've ever seen. Buy it now.
In the games industry,
whatever,
expectations is like the teeter-totter of hell, right? And I feel like they did try to temper expectations so much. Top Gamer Pro, thank you so much for the 2, says, what if GTA Online drops some a month later, which is what Mag was saying. Like, yeah, the window is kind of crappy, but if your game was ready and if you knew it was good, you could launch it. It has nothing to do with Grand Theft Auto, because I think that Fable was supposed to come out like October 1st, like give you that's exactly 3 weeks before Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. And like, that's not enough time to drop a semi-open world action RPG like Fable. I think it is. People get this thing like you need at least a month between a big game like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. I'm like, 007 is going to take up 2 weeks of my time. It's going to be a really great experience. Yeah, it's only 20 hours, but some people, I put in 200 hours of Crimson Desert in like 3 weeks. I don't know. People still buy games. Like if you can come out before, let's say your game is this big and you're coming up a game that's this big, like you could come out before that, garner all those sales, people bang through the game and talk about it, and then when the new game comes out, that all dies down. That's just like how the cycle goes.
Well, look at Forza. But like, the thing is, it all boils down to one thing that, we everything that we discuss and argue about and debate in the chat or with the community or with ourselves, when it comes down to everything else, it's the quality. It always has to be the quality of the game. It has to be a game that everybody wants to play, everybody's talking about, because at the end, when it sells. And if you look at, like, for example, Forza 6 is the #1 Metacritic scored game of 2026 so far, right? And it's sold bucket loads on Xbox and Steam. Steam, I think the last numbers, they were approximate numbers from Alinea there, 2.9 million copies. I'm sure it's gone gone up from there, but the last day, 2.9 million copies on Steam, 2.1 million on Xbox. That did not include early access or people playing in Game Pass. So
it doesn't need to be on PlayStation.
It doesn't have to be by those numbers.
It can.
It doesn't
you
have
can
to
make
be.
a lot more money, and that's what they care about more than us fans. But if you're right,
and then the last one sold what? Forza 5 sold 5 million on PlayStation. I see some people in the chat were talking about, well, the PlayStation games don't, or the Xbox games don't sell on PlayStation. Did you see the ones that did sell well? Did you happen to notice that, like, regardless of personal opinion, the overall feeling about those games were nobody really cared? Because, like I said, even the Xbox guys didn't play them.
There was like 12 games, and only the top three were
go to the achievements.
Were Starfield, Forza, and Sea of Thieves. So like everything else, like Indiana Jones and
Indiana Jones did all right.
Doom,
it did all right.
Yeah,
but the other ones did not do great.
It wasn't,
but they weren't that great games, and so like they're not Forzas. They weren't Forzas. You release a game like Forza, and look at what happens. It's sold almost 5 million copies on the Xbox and Steam with Game Pass. So I'm not saying every game has to be a Forza or have to carry that kind of moniker of like being a series as popular as Forza. But if you put out something that everybody's talking about, people will come to you and they will buy that game. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Yeah, it's just reduced down to a simple thing. If your game is amazing, it will sell incredibly well. And then that's all I need to say. Because the reality is, if your game is okay or great, it will sell mediocrely on Xbox, and then you go put it on PlayStation, and it sells mediocre. If the game is really hot, it'll sell really well on Xbox. There's a whole thing with Game Pass people not buying games, but we won't bring that up tonight. But it'll sell really well on PlayStation. The problem is, if you put out a bunch of games, like I said a bunch of times, last year, 2025, Xbox put out 10 games. 8 of them didn't sell very well, so they sold really bad on PlayStation. And then they lost exclusivity. And so you got to wonder,
well, the funny thing is,
the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I look at that too, and I see a lot of people love to go like this, do the big kung fu deflection over to the PlayStation community, saying they're not buying our games. And I'm like, you're not playing them either. Go look at the achievements. 12% didn't even finish Outer Worlds 2 on the easiest difficulty. Like, you know what I mean? Stop lying to yourselves for I was about to say something horrible. For fudge's sake. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you guys in the chat, because you guys are locked in. You guys are community members who are locked in. You're hardcore. You're on Xbox every day, or whatever you're on, Steam, or you're on PC or PlayStation, whatever. And all the people that are here in this chat, I'm not talking about you. But the majority of the people did not lock in. When it's a rare achievement to get to the second level of Hi-Fi Rush, what are you talking about? Like you could deflect over the PlayStation, sure, that's fine. They didn't buy it either. But either did you. Not you. I mean like that community. They didn't buy it either.
What were you even thinking?
So what are we talking about here? And it's not like I'm like
keep talking higher and higher, man.
Just go to the Xbox store or the Xbox thing. Go look at the achievement percentages. They've gone up now. They've gone up now. But like for like a year plus, they did not go anywhere. That means that nobody engaged with it. So that's what I'm getting at. You have to have something that everybody engages in. And that's why I like Asha, by the way. I'll tell you right now, I don't evangelize Asha, okay? Like I don't have the pictures of like Mother Mary, you know, like they do with her on Twitter.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I like her. And you know why I like her? Because she's not in the game industry.
In a tweet.
Yeah.
What?
I like her because she's not in the games industry, because she's going to ask those questions. And that's the thing. She's not going to coddle them or baby them. She's going to go, why are people not playing these games? I'm looking at the dollars and cents and the engagement here, and the engagement is not where we want it to be. This is piss poor. Therefore, why aren't people playing it? So she's going to get to the root of that cause. Kind of like when you go to rehab and they start peeling back all the onions, right? Why are you like this? Why are you doing drugs? Why are you like this? Why are you abusive?
Meg, we're in rehab right now doing this show.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? And then she's going to peel all those layers back and say, why aren't people playing these? We need mass appeal. Why? Like, you know what I mean? We need, like, I'm not saying you have to like, you know, cop out and just like, you know, make pop culture stuff, but I'm saying you have to have the majority of people wanting to play them. That's what's going to do it. So exclusivity doesn't matter. Multi-plat doesn't matter. None of that matters if people aren't playing the games.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they have to be awesome. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They gotta be awesome. Yeah.
QL, thank you so much for the 5. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. He goes, I don't care what devs think, that I'm not getting screwed over. I pay a lot of money every month to play these games. Yeah, we do. We spend a lot. It's an expensive hobby. And the games are fantastic right now. I'm having like I put down that $70 for Lego Batman, and I didn't even wince. Like I just knew I was in the mood, and I got home and played it, and I was like, oh, so happy. Like, the games have been really good. Like, we bitch and moan about exclusivity, logos, and all this nonsense for years on end, but dang, are the games good right now. And I saw somebody write in the chat that Outer Worlds 2 was ass. I thought the game was really great, but it could have been so much more if it was going to set the world on fire. But I mean, sometimes I feel like Xbox or some of these devs are like, here's our game. Hope you like it. And you really got to be behind it. Yodani Kazada, thank you so much for the 10. I'll be seeing you very soon.
Obsidian's had great trailers, though. Their trailers are hilarious.
Yeah, they are fun. They're very, really fun.
Obsidian does sell their games like in a funny way. Like, I like the way they did. Their marketing for Outer Worlds 2 was actually really good. It's just that people didn't engage with the game.
It's a really good game. It's so fun. I loved it. Udani says, my take on the logos. Candy at 7-Eleven is $6. My car insurance is 2 times what it used to be with 0 accidents. Gas is over $4 a gallon. Every subscription, he's like, isn't no man. And back in my day, I saw a picture of, I'll get to this, Udani. I saw a picture of a rocket, like one of those new rockets from like Elon Musk or something. And it was the underside of a rocket, Mag. And your idea of what a rocket looks like, it was like 300 rockets arrayed around in a circle, all like ignited. And I wrote, back in my day, our rockets only had 3 engines and we liked it. So anyway.
Our rockets used to walk 12 miles both ways in the snow to get to the moon. Then we went to the moon. Sorry, carry on.
You had to have your buddy blow into the helmet to have air just before you could make it to space. And we liked it. He says $4 for gallon of gas. Every subscription price is up. Amen. He says, I need comp. Here it is. Udani gets the freaking quote of the day. I need competition to drive the cost of gaming down. Compete, he said. And Xbox
I agree with that. What do you think's happening here in Canada? We got 2 cell services, basically, Rogers and Bell, and they run the whole goddamn country, and they can charge whatever they want. We're paying $100 a month for our cell phone bills, each, by the way. So
and you
between me and my wife is $200 a month. Hey?
And you still have a queen or something, right?
No, we don't have a queen. Well, I mean, Cardi's basically a queen, but anyway, the thing is that at this point, the thing is like, without that competition, which we don't have, and then of course in Ontario with their Nazi level LCBO liquor license board bullshit that they got in this province, that they basically had a stranglehold for decades. There was no competition, and now they're crying the blues because the fat guy there, what's his name, Doug Ford, our premier of the province, he said nope. Just like you guys and any, free country on the planet, liquor in all the gas stations, stores, grocery stores, Costco, whatever. So they implemented that last year. Can you believe that, guys? Last year. And so now it's in there now. Well, now the LCBO is crying because they're losing money. And I'm like, oh, because of competition? Or I can go to Costco and get it cheaper and whatever else? Yeah. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. And the only way that you could keep all these companies in the gaming industry under control is with competition. And then competition will have them not only fighting for our attention, but they're going to be fighting for our dollar. I agree with that statement.
Yeah, even if Xbox didn't have any exclusive whatsoever, their priority should definitely be selling more games on their own platform so they can take a bigger cut. But it's I keep saying it. I feel like they're like, well, we can't do anything without PlayStation's help. It's kind of how it comes off. But thank you for the Canadian Bureau, or what do you call it? The Politburo of Canada from Mag.
Woodpit. Unfortunately, Rob Ford is dead.
Yeah,
he said bring back Rob Ford, and I'm like, he's dead.
No, that's what he means. Bring him back to life. He was the Chris
zombie
Farley
Rob Ford
Canada.
Would be dope. Can you imagine that? Free booze for all. Free little flags for everyone else.
Shout out to Alvin933 with the 5. Appreciate it, bro. He says, shout out to Mag for winning our gentleman's bet on Fable in a record 18 hours. I should have known better than to challenge you. I owe Mag a drink as well because he said,
no, you don't.
Colt, they're going to delay Fable. And I said, Mag, you shut your whore mouth. Last thing I said to you. And then I looked at my phone.
He did say that, by the way. He calls me a whore often, by the way. And also a smelly pirate hooker. Those are the different words that
kind of the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to over 800 people.
I'm not happy about winning that bet. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't want to win that bet.
I know.
But when you hear bad news, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to win a bet like that. I'd rather win a fun bet like, what's your Metacritic score, 85 or 87 or something? That's fun.
Yeah,
but I don't want to. I don't. Listen, man. I know some people are pissed off at me. That's fine. I mean, like, listen, man. That's what we do when we are friends and you're talking or whatever. It's totally fine. But the thing is, at the end of the day, I don't want bad news. I want good news because this is something that we love to do. It's fun. But
and I feel like Fable is the Fable
show we got to criticize.
Yeah, everyone says
it is bad. I want to play it. I want to play it sooner rather than later. But
like,
I know it's not ready.
Game. You know that whole thing.
I know it's not ready. So let's let them do their thing. And we got so many bloody games anyway. Who the hell is gonna have time for Fable anyhow? It might have got Titanfall 2'd. So there's no point. There's so
that's
many
true.
games to play. And I don't want to see any of these teams get hurt like
that's
by
why
that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it totally could have worked to have that trailer and have maybe they don't have time to record that and change it. So, you'd have to like get that all wired up and ready in a week. But getting out in front and saying that was like bad news. And shout out to 800 people who are here watching the show live. We really appreciate you. It's a random Monday. You're hanging out with us. It means a lot. Show your support by hitting the like button. Appreciate it. It's just right down there.
Sebastian Cooper, I am a pony. I'm a pony bot. And by the way, Sebastian, where the hell have you been? I didn't see you in like any of my Forza, I didn't see you in any of my Forza races. I host those community Forza nights. Very popular. Aero Nation did one on Saturday. And man, it's a huge thing. I want to carry that on with Gears. You know what I mean? I want to carry that on with Call of Duty. I want to carry that on with other stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, it was so good, man. And the turnouts have been massive. So it's like really
awesome.
Shocking. Yeah.
Thank you,
Sebastian,
guys,
get your ass out to the next Forza one, okay?
Yeah, thank you guys for being here because you've been supporting Mag and coming over and giving us a shot here on the show. JV Smooth says, have you ever eaten a cake that wasn't finished? Not good. And I'm like, well, have you ever eaten a spoonful of cake batter? It's delicious. Give you diarrhea, but it's great. I love it. All right, let me get the rest of these and we got BT Maverick. Thanks for the 2. He goes, let Colt cook. Can't wait to see you, bro, in a couple days. Illuminati 420, thanks for another 5. Appreciate it, bro. He says, could you see Asha making 2 to 4 games a year? Asha's not going to make any games, ever. Never. She'll never make
it's not her business. She's
he
working
says,
on a business level, guys.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't read the rest, Mag. Sorry.
Okay, read the rest.
Could you see Asha making 2 to 4 games a year, console exclusive, and add a tier to Game Pass for them and make every other game timed and go multiplat? We talked about them making people wait a year for the game to come to Game Pass, which would be a horrible thing. They took Call of Duty away. Like, if they were going to pull all the first-party games and say they're not coming day and date, they'd have to significantly lower Game Pass. But I've also said that if they took away first-party games and day-and-date games from Game Pass, that would be their opportunity to say, let's make it just this niche thing and just let it die in a few months. And when it reaches a certain low point of subscribers, we'll say Game Pass doesn't work anymore and they get rid of it. Then you've basically done 9 horrible things. So I don't want them to do that in cost of exclusivity. So Tarnished Gamer, thank you so much for the 5. Steam isn't competing with anyone at the moment. Only in people's heads is anyone remotely viewing other PC storefronts besides GOG is truly competing. This is true. Tarnished is right. Steam has such a lead and kind of like a monopoly, a good monopoly. Like, they're really great. And
I heard that Gabe was in a bit of I heard Santa Claus was having some issue talking about there was some accusations about monopoly or whatever else, and it just happened like today or the other day or something.
Oh, I haven't heard anything recently.
And then he said,
"Go ahead."
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up, but yeah, I think his answer was ho ho ho, and then he got in his sled and he flew away. But that was it.
Right. Great.
Oh, here it is. It's right here. 5 hours ago, Gabe Newell on Steam monopoly accusations. He says gamers have enormous choice about where to buy games. He's not wrong. So it happened.
Wait, read it again.
Today.
Gamers do
he
or
says
don't?
This. He says customers have enormous choice about where they purchase their games. Newell testified in court, including whether they buy the game on an Xbox, whether they buy it on Steam, whether they buy it on Epic Game Store, or whether they buy it directly from software developers. So this must have just happened, dude. I mean, I didn't see this. It says edited 1 hour ago.
Keep telling us what you got there.
Prevents developers from offering their games at lower prices at non-Steam storefronts. Okay, so what he's saying is that like he's being accused of like
Price fixing?
monopolistic
Is
practices.
that when you only have one partner and you don't like bring somebody else?
I guess, but like he's saying, he says lower prices on non-Steam storefronts. Newell also denied, hold on, here we go. Newell also denied the existence of an alleged unwritten rule that prevents developers from offering their games at lower prices on non-Steam storefronts. Newell repeatedly denied it exists, even when shown internal communications seemingly showing Valve employees enforcing it.
Oh, interesting.
Valve,
thanks, bro,
is what he says.
Appreciate it.
He answers this. Oh man, I got to make a video about this before Banana Boy does. Valve does not have a. Hold on, I got a banana suit right there. Valve does not have a policy or practice of dictating prices to third-party software developers on other platforms. When asked how Valve would react if it ever happened, Newell initially said he was confused by the question and then added, "Many of our partners and many of our customers are quite happy with the service that we are providing." He then went on to say, "Ho, ho, ho, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Donner, and Blitzen." He jumped on his... No, anyway, that was the end of the quote before the Santa Claus thing. No, but that, like, so obviously something happened. Like, did they go to court? I got to look this stuff up now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it must have broke today while we were getting the show ready.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. There's the whole
what
Steam
is this thing. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, it's showing up now. Antitrust suit filed by Wolfire Games in 2021, then something back in 2023. And if it's coming out now, that means something new happened. Chat, do you guys know what's going on here? Because it doesn't seem to say that like it was today, but like, why is it making news today?
I don't know.
Ooh. Santa Claus does not sound happy. Dude.
What, is there another quote there?
Gabe Newell asked Valve's top lawyer, "What the F do I pay you for if that's your opinion?" in heated debate over porn games on Steam. So obviously there seems to be some kind of a
multi-level thing going on there.
Yeah, it must be like a coordinated attack against this guy right now.
Tim
Sweeney goes after Gabe Newell following Valve Steam Deck price hike, severe disruptions in the like. What the hell's going on?
Hold on. Yeah, Tim Sweeney does not shy away from saying what he really wants to say, even if it pisses people off. Let me see if there's
so it must be like a coordinated attack or something. Hi, Ant-Man. How you doing? Come to my show tomorrow. You'll love it. We'll be doing a PlayStation watch party just for you, Ant-Man.
I don't see a post from Tim
Bring
Sweeney.
the Wasp. Bring the Wasp. Sorry, say again.
I don't see a quote from Tim Sweeney on Twitter. He's pretty open and says what he feels, but I don't see anything in there. I don't know where he would reply, but
this is what he said. He said, following Valve's Steam Deck price hike, Tim Sweeney quoted as saying, "Severe disruptions in the component parts supply chain for mega yachts."
That's from a few days ago. I remember that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one. That's funny.
Yeah, I did.
Oh
see
my
that
god!
Because I was going to.
The PC boys are having meltdowns.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the Steam Deck price increase and how it affects next gen, but I'll probably save that for another day because it's like a whole thing. But I'm looking to see if I can find that tweet, but it was a while ago. All right, well, I'll get back to it. Yeah, you're right, Tarnish.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail anything. I just thought it was wild. It just showed up on my phone, and all these like things started showing up.
Well, I mean, it's part of it. He's talking about how Steam doesn't really have any competition, and the sales aren't what they used to be on Steam. But Steam's still a pretty consumer-friendly platform for the most part. Like, they make some big mistakes here or there that have to be corrected. But, yeah, anyway. It's the Broke Boy. Thank you so much for 10. Thank you. I appreciate your support, bro. It means a lot. He says, Mag, you're missing the point. PS5 is advertising Fable, an Xbox first-party game for PS5 only. Mag said that. He addressed that very clearly. He says they don't even mention Xbox Game Studios. They only mention Playground Games. Who cares if PS is different? I don't know when he sent this, but I mean, you pretty much covered that.
That was probably in the middle
agreement.
of our.
Yeah.
In the end, yeah.
In the end, Broke Boy, I think he does agree with you as well. Hargeet Johnny, thank you so much for the 10. He says, I've been saying all shows should be forced to show all logos. Scummy not to. Maybe the EU or someone like that should make it mandatory. It's best, he says, for devs, publishers, and consumers. I agree. It is best for the devs, publishers, consumers to have the. This is great. I love that Hargy said that. It's great for the devs and us and the publishers. It's like exclusivity is great for the devs, publishers, and consumers.
That's where this came from. Hargeet's right.
Yeah,
like,
it's absolutely
the devs
true.
are the ones who are pushing for it. The devs are the ones who push. The guys in the trenches are pushing for it. They're the ones pushing for this.
Yeah,
more than anybody else.
I misspoke. I said not having exclusivity is good for the publishers, devs, and the consumers. Same as having the logos available to everybody. Yeah. But when you have exclusivity or you only show a certain logo, that is made purely to push your own platform and its own viability. And so if you only have your PS5 logo on your PlayStation Showcase, your message is the game is available on our store. And you're not hiding anything. You're just saying, hey, we want you to know that game is available on our store. Where else is it available? It's available on the PlayStation Store. You're just being a good business owner by saying, I want you to walk into my door and buy from my product. I missed one. I missed a super here. Illuminati, thanks for the 2. He goes, it's like Whopper being available at McDonald's. This is a long time exclusivity parody or parable that's been used over and over. But yeah, I mean, it really is. Exclusivity is not for us. It's for the platform to grow, to sell more consoles, or to keep your ecosystem thriving by bringing, like Meg, you always say it so much better than me. You want people to funnel into your store. You want them there because that's where you want them spending money. Simple as that.
Yeah, and there's I see a Broke Boy. Hey, Broke Boy, how you doing, brother? He was saying in the chat, he goes, then why don't those same devs make the same demands at PlayStation? I don't know. I don't know what their rules are, what's going on over there. I could just tell you from the Microsoft side. That's all. I don't know what the hell they're I could ask the guys at Insomniac. I'd be curious, but they're making games for only PlayStation, so why would they care? Right? It's not going anywhere except for PlayStation. So when you're talking about the Sony developers, like those ones, like first party developers that are making those single player games, it's a non-issue for them because it's not even going to Steam anymore. Right? So they've made that abundantly clear. So I guess it's a non-issue for the majority of their studios. I don't know. But I mean, I don't have that many people I talk to over there, so I wouldn't know what their I don't know what their philosophy is or the business. But there's another interesting thing someone pointed out, actually. It was like, for example, like when Walmart has an advertisement on TV, they're like, oh, apples are $5.99 a bag. Yeah. I think it's pretty well known that Walmart's not going to say also available at Walgreens, at whatever, or you know what I mean? At the Superstore or whatever. And so it's kind of known that you could buy an apple anywhere. And at that point, I guess in that respect, and you'd be like, okay, I get all that. And then the thing is you're advertising for that store, but it's sort of implied, they're just doing an advertisement for themselves. But I don't know. Listen, man, I don't run the damn business. All we could do is just kind of talk about it, right? Yeah, and we're trying to be like the voice of reason and help
Beer Bear,
share
your voice of reason. All of you guys who are leaving comments and giving us feedback, but also, gauge the way that the whole industry might need to start working in a different way. And Fonz Gaming said a really good thing. He said, the reason why PlayStation only shows their logo is because they have exclusives. So I don't know exactly what he means by that, Mag, but when he says PlayStation can only show their logo because they actually have exclusives, they're only on their platform, that leads me to believe that PlayStation only shows their logo to try and convince people that the only place to play games is on PlayStation. And I know their motto kind of is the best place to play or the only place to play is PlayStation. They kind of lead their marketing that way. So when they show Beast of Incarnation or something and they only have the PlayStation logo, I think they secretly hope that most lay people would be like, oh, that's only on PlayStation. And they'll go directly there, just buy the game and play it. So I don't think exclusivity is the real reason why they do that. So I got a couple more here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Broke Boy says, Mag, Xbox isn't playing softball. They play no balls.
Who said that? Hold on. I didn't even see that super chat.
Yeah, Broke Boy. Thank you, bro.
By the way, shout out to Mav. By the way, Mav.
He's in the chat?
Speculation. He was the one. No, he's not here. I was on a show last week, by the way. We had a great show. Beer Baron pointed out that it was actually Mav who made that analogy yesterday about the Walmart thing. About the apples at Walmart. So I couldn't remember who said it, but I knew someone said it, but it was Mav. Shout out to him. Go sub to his channel. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's great. Fun
Anyways, carry on.
Speculation
Sorry,
is the channel if you want to look it up. QL, thanks for the 5. Appreciate it. He says good games have been sent out to die against huge game releases. That's true. Yeah, there's lots of games that get buried. It sucks. He also says with the 5, they need to go all in on Game Pass. Yes, absolutely. I want to say this after I finish reading this. He says, I think they need to be more aggressive on prices because Xbox users are still the majority of subscribers. Yeah, Xbox console users are the most people that are subscribed to Game Pass. I agree totally, even though we don't know that. Yeah, thank you, Kill. That's a lot of supers you sent. I appreciate your support. You're awesome. I want to add to that and say Xbox needs to grab and money hat big games. And I remember saying this up, like I'll think of something that's coming up. Let's say Onimusha. Onimusha 2 is coming out. Way of the Sword, I think it's called. Yeah. Like
Way of the Sword, yes.
If you were going to be totally balls out, Xbox should go to Capcom and go, we want that in Game Pass. And they're like, whoa, no, we went on. It's like, no, that'll be available to everyone. Everyone on PlayStation can buy it. Everyone on PC and Steam and Epic can buy it. Everyone on Xbox can buy it. But we're going to give you a bag of money, you know, whatever it is, like we'll give you half a million or whatever it costs. And you put that game on Game Pass. Here's the money. That will grow subscribers. Like some big brand new game like that. Imagine you're coming around the summer and Capcom's like, Onimusha Way of the Sword is coming September 1st or whatever it's going to be. And then it has a Game Pass logo. Like, holy crap, go sub to Game Pass. It would be good for everybody. I think that's the aggressive thing they need to do. 78 Incorporated, thank you so much for the 10. Says, my brothers, I'm going to sneak over to the showcase. Can you let me through the back door? Ninja
Of course.
Emoji. Yeah.
78 is a legendary maggot. We'll you don't even need to go through the back door. Just walk through the front door. Chest out. Arms swinging, you know, confident. Don't worry about it. Just walk right in.
Yeah,
What are they gonna
dress up
stop
as
you?
a giant PS5, like a big foam created PS5. Just wobble in there, and then Xbox will be like, "Sure, come on in, sir."
You don't have to. You don't have to dress up as a giant PS5. The PS5 is already giant. It just comes as a regular size one.
Got a hole in the back.
It's still the size of a. It's still the size of a Hyundai. I had to put the damn thing sideways, otherwise it's going to be scraping my ceiling.
I remember when right before the Series X and PS5 came out, I had them both pre-ordered, and I took a picture of my entertainment system, and I photoshopped the new consoles in there, like to see what they would look like, and I shared it on Twitter.
Right.
And I'm like, this is before AI, so I photoshopped it and made all the stuff look cool, like it looked like it was really there. But for fun, Mag, I took the PS5 and it was in there at like a 45-degree angle, like it wouldn't fit. And all these places, you guys are like, you son of a bitch.
Isn't it funny how mad people get about stuff? Like the funniest things. It's like even just talking about something, people lose their minds. And I'm trying to picture them at home. And I'm like, what are they doing right now? Are they like punching
like
the
this.
air when I say something or you say something? Or Or like all of a sudden it's like I'm so scared of this and I'm gonna hit my phone so hard the screen cracks. And I'm like, just
headbutting their
chill
phone.
out, man. We're just having a conversation. You know what I mean? It's like when you're hanging out with your buddies, you agree with everything that they're saying. Like I was out Saturday night after I went to the concert, right? And we went to a bar called Scotland Yard. Great pub in the city, right? So we're having some beers and stuff like that that weren't $20. Thanks a lot, Scotiabank Arena. And we're having some beers. Do you think we were sitting there all night with our arms around each other? Like going, the Lord is my shepherd is the Lord. No, we're all yelling at each other, just having beers. And I'm like, hey, you shut the F up. You don't even know what you're talking about. Did that stop us from being brothers and friends? No. Like, that's just the real world, right? So I see people get so mad and get insulting and stuff and make videos about you or talk crap about me. And I'm like, what is wrong with everybody? Just relax.
Do you put a voice to the hate comments when people are just like being...
Oh yeah, I do. Well, very few of them come to my channel. There's a couple of people who come and talk whatever, but I usually just go and then see you later. Or the maggots have at them. If the maggots get to them, then they usually run away on their own because then they get swarmed. So
Sebastian Cooper goes,
they don't last long.
You're gonna love this one, Mag. He goes, you can
I like
look up
Sebastian.
He goes, you can look up both their accounts right now and see they played nothing but mainstream games. They work for the corporation. And then he goes, it's funny how they're talking about how people get mad. Meanwhile, Colt called me out before a show for laughing at how people are getting fired and replaced by AI. Yeah, I didn't laugh at people getting replaced by AI. Like, I have an actual job. I don't just do YouTube as a job, but I don't know. He might be mad, but hey, I'll do his
And
voice
man,
for
there's
you.
a lot of Xbox guys on my channel. What are you talking about? He goes, too many ponies on that channel for me. What are you talking about? A lot of Xbox guys on my channel. When I host my Xbox like Forza days, there were 1,000 people every time I do one of those shows. So like, there's a lot of people over there. Come over,
Father
have
Alex
some fun.
says, Meg, you look great tonight.
Father Alex.
Father Alex. Yeah.
What does he say? Do you look great tonight? Yeah, because I'm tanned.
Oh,
I mean, a little
Sebastian
burnt
goes,
on the head.
I didn't laugh. He said, I made him look like the bad guy. Sebastian laughed at people for getting fired
Sorry,
by
Sebastian,
AI.
you read it wrong.
Yeah, sorry, Sebastian. You probably shouldn't make fun of people for losing their livelihood because of AI. I think we tend to frown upon that. If you mock people who lose their job because of tech, destroying their lives and their families. But, that's just me. But whatever. No, I don't just play mainstream games. I play whatever the F I want. If I want to play mainstream games, or I want to play Vampire Hunters for like 50 hours like I did, or I want to play Echo Generation like I did, I play whatever I like to play. I also have a full-time job, 3 kids, run a YouTube channel. I play what I can when I can. But thank you so much for being here, bro. I hope things get better for you. Appreciate you being here and watching the show. We got Tarnished Gamer. Thank you for another super chat. Thank you so much for the 10. He says, the lawsuit is years old. In their own rules and policies, they only enforce it if it is a Steam key. Anything otherwise, if they stated by a Valve employee to another developer, it's wrong. That sheds some light on the Steam thing. But I don't know. That doesn't directly affect.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, we appreciate that, bro. Incursion X, thank you so much for the 5. Says, do you think with the price hike for the Steam Deck that the ROG Ally X will go up soon? Because I'm on the fence about buying one right now. Yes, I absolutely predict that the ROG Ally and the other handhelds are going to go up if Steam Deck price hike. They might not, because I was talking to Hargeet.
Well, the OLED came out, right? This new one?
Yeah, but that's,
so maybe you keep the old one.
Yeah, the OLED costs more because it has a better tech in it. But Hargeet said that Valve did not do a very good job of pricing and acquisition for parts to make the Steam Deck. So they kind of got jammed a little bit. But once they hike the price, the other competition will go, well, we can bring our price up too. So if you want to buy one, I really like mine. You should probably buy one now. If you're on the fence and you had the money, you want to get it, I would recommend getting it, because price hikes are just kind of inevitable right now. Danny Passion, thank you so much for the 2. Xbox, it would be, he wrote EXbox. It would be a great name for the next Xbox. Oh, I don't know. One more. Kiel, thank you so much for another 5. Appreciate it. He says, if you're selling Fords, you don't drive your Toyota to the dealership. It's funny, I was going to bring this up on a show. I didn't get a chance to say it. Way back in 1998, I worked for Coca-Cola. And we had this Coke uniform, like a button-up shirt and pants with the Coke logo. And we were told, Mag, you are not allowed to go to Taco Bell or Pizza Hut and eat lunch on your lunch break, because they have Pepsi there, and they have Pepsi machines. Even though you're not holding a Pepsi Coke, they said, do not go to these certain restaurants like KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut and whatever. If somebody says something, if they tell us you were there, we will fire you. Because if some mom was like, I saw a Coke guy over there and they have Pepsi at KFC, and it got back to the office, gone.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Wow.
Man. Yeah.
Hargeet in the chat is saying that
I see it
he
now.
had a second super chat.
Yes, thank you, Hargeet.
I don't see it.
I've got it right now. Thank you so much. Yeah,
okay,
I don't know how I missed over it, but we've been talking. Oh, I missed 2. Hargeet, hold on a second. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have been amazing. Corrupted Storm 117, thank you so much for the 5. He says, surprise Halo multiplayer game and Banjo-Kazooie game surprise for Showcase. Also, he says, unblock me on Twitter. I'm a fan. Corrupted, what is your name on Twitter? Write it in the chat, and I'll make sure that you're unblocked.
He was probably drinking Pepsi at the wrong place, so that's why you got banned. So that's,
Yeah. Hargeet Johnny, thank you so much for the 10. Thank you for making sure I got this one. He says, we are Xbox, except when games are ported elsewhere. So much for pride in your platform. That's the stuff they need to fix, Hargeet says. MLB comes up with the PlayStation Studios on Xbox. Call of Duty should start with an Xbox logo. I agree. I think that Xbox treats Bethesda and Activision as like this separate side shoot, which I think is absolutely dumb. Xbox Game Studios should be in front of all of the studios that they own. I agree, Hargy. Good point.
Yeah, because they run it as like separate businesses, and it almost feels like ABK is actually not really part of them. But like, you know what I mean? Like it almost like it doesn't seem to fall under the umbrella of Xbox Game Studios. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? You spent the money for it. 70 billion's not enough to be able to put your own name on it. Like, how much do you need to give them? Like, you know what I mean? Wow, you needed to give us 71 billion if you want to put the name on it.
Yeah, this separation of church and state with that Activision, Blizzard, and Bethesda, I think it's
probably for tax reasons. Like I bet you $1 million it has something to do with the like business reasons. Like they're able to like diversify, and I don't know. Listen, man, this I don't want to get in all that stuff because that's sensitive stuff. But
I think they did it.
I could see it for being for financial reasons, 100%.
I think they did 100%. It so Activision, Blizzard, and Bethesda, and all those could publish their own games, and Xbox wouldn't have to do all the publishing work, and it would still be under their umbrella. But it's also come back to bite in the butt really bad, like with Redfall and other games where they're like, let them do their thing. We're just going to be the bastions and the financial support. And then, you know, you get a bad Call of Duty game, you get Redfall and stuff like that. But two more. We got Tires Gamer. Thank you so much for the 5. He says, you want to know who doesn't allow third-party sellers to sell keys? Also, do you want to know who just lost in court for having a digital monopoly? I mean, is he talking about Steam? I mean,
I guess Steam, so. I mean, who the hell else would be in court right now? Because I mean, what I just read. But I mean, if he had lost in court, I think there would have been like, I think like the internet would be on fire right now.
You can buy third-party keys for Steam on Loaded or G2A or Green Man Gaming and Steam. I forgot the other one. I don't want to think about it right now. But anyway, you can kind of circumvent that. You can buy the Steam key there for a couple bucks cheaper, and then you can unlock it on Steam, but you can't once you unlock that key, you can't ask for a refund. You have to buy it directly from their store. But Mr. Evil, thank you so much for the 5. I mean, this is great stuff that Tarnish needs to bring up with Banana Man because Onos Alex has such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to Steam, and he's been covering.
Yeah, that's why I don't even bother.
He knows so much more than me. And I love Steam. I own like a couple hundred games there. I use it all the time. I just don't know the business part of them like I would with Xbox. Mr. Evil, thank you so much for the 5. He says, speaking on drinking 4XP, might have some for you. Not a plug, but maybe also a plug. Yeah, I'm drinking the Gravewalker right now. It's powering me through the show. You guys are awesome. Let's quickly talk about State of Play. There's going to be some multiplats. There's going to be some exclusives. I kind of tried to like prod you last week about it, but what are you expecting from State of Play? Let's talk about what could be there, and I want to talk about Summer Games Fest Showcase because holy crap, we have to go quick.
No problem. Well, I mean, tomorrow, obviously, I would expect Wolverine. Obviously, that's going to happen. Yeah. There's rumors of another big IP I was talking about coming from Disney that might show up there. Don't want to spoil that. Not that I know for sure, but that's the rumblings anyway, that there might be something from Disney property that's going to be shown there outside of Wolverine. Then Final Fantasy VII Part 3, I guess, could be shown there as well. And you never know. I mean, they were talking about this whole thing about going back to their old IPs. You might get some of those remakes. People were talking about this might be between Keighley and Sony. Like you've also got the Max Payne remakes of 1 and 2 could show up somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I still think if Splinter Cell even shows up this year, then it might be Keighley or Xbox who's got that. I don't think PlayStation's going to get that. But then what else could we possibly have? Now, the thing is, there's still the outlier out there because GTA 6 went completely like quiet. They did their earnings call, no trailer dropped, nothing happened. They said the things were going to start in the summer. I mean, I'm asking you, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm asking you, do you think maybe? No? Okay. All right. No, that's fair. That's fair.
I think Rockstar
they keep puffing this thing up though. I mean, like they're really puffing this thing up. So like they must have something big.
Yeah, Rockstar doesn't have to use State of Play for Grand Theft Auto.
No, they don't.
But also, I think, and I think you'd agree with me, Rockstar doesn't need to use anyone because they would rather wait and release because their last trailer got leaked and it was on their own. But imagine handing the trailer number 2 to PlayStation and then going, now we've just doubled the amount of the opportunity for people to leak the thing before it goes up. So
yeah, that's
my
true.
prediction
That's
is
true.
that
That's true.
Rockstar will do it on their own, and they've got it locked down.
I mean,
and-
Rockstar can release a tweet and break the internet. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to
Absolutely.
do it anywhere. I was just asking because I thought,
Yeah.
you know, I was just curious.
what was the other thing? I was gonna
other
ask
than
you
that,
about?
I really don't know. Sony Santa Monica is going to be there. That's going to be a thing. They're going to show what they're doing. Naughty Dog is going to be there showing their thing with Intergalactic there, and then Sony Santa
you
Monica
think we
with
might
their
see
new
a little bit more of
God of War
Intergalactic?
project. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
It is gonna be a big
but
show.
Hey, we're gonna have to wait and find out. Either way, I'm excited for it because it's a good kickoff to our now fractured E3, as I like to call it. It's like a fractured E3. You've got like Sony doing their own thing, my Xbox is doing their own thing, Keely's doing his own thing, and they all do it within the same week. So I'm like, you kind of are E3 without the name. So I'm enjoying that it's making some kind of a comeback, that everybody's sort of doing something. Is Nintendo doing anything? I don't think so. Or I mean, do they have anything to show other than the Star Fox remake?
I'm going to tell you, we don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
We don't care.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know idea. So, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see that there's like a fractured E3. So in a way, it's kind of made its way back, and it's great to see because it was a travesty when that all stopped. You know what I mean? And you know, I like to see it.
Yeah, BT says
truth in the chat saying Nintendo was busy suing modders. Yeah, exactly.
Gosh. Yeah, BT says maybe we see that X-Men tease tomorrow. Yeah, PlayStation has a lot of stuff to show.
I don't think so.
They haven't
that's
been
like
this
3
hypey
projects
in a
down the
long
road.
time.
Yeah, they're really like pushing something. So like I'm sitting there, and my ears are perked up. I'm like, you know, you guys are pushing really hard on this, right? So I'm just like, wow. But whatever the hell they got going on, I'm excited for it. We're gonna do it live in the channel, so I'm happy to do the watch party and gonna have a good time doing it. No, X-Men, I don't think so. X-Men is like 3 projects down the road for Insomniac. Their next one is Venom. And then after Venom is Spider-Man 3. Then after that one is X-Men. So like we're talking like that could theoretically be upwards of 10 years down the road, right? Or end of next generation for them for PS6.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I don't
there's
think
like
it's the X-Men for a very long time.
Venom might be in the pipeline, and then the Wolverine's going to be like a big thing for the year and afterward.
Yeah. And then of course, as Hebs mentioned in the chat, like there's also Ratchet and Clank somewhere in the mix too. Like, I mean, Insomniac are beasts. Those guys, like,
Isn't
there a
rumor that they're going to do like a Infamous 1 and 2 remaster, like port?
Yes.
Not port, but like a actual playable version of it. I've only played Infamous 2 and I loved it.
Infamous 1 is better. And I loved that. I love those games. I love
was
both
Infamous 2 was in New Orleans, I think. And that was the one I played. And I really
and then there was
it.
another one called Second Son, which was like the worst of the 3. It was still fun, but it was the worst of the 3. But they were great games. Yeah, there's rumors that they're going to be remakes of those ones, but those were made by Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch.
So yeah, and Sucker Punch is now off of their second Ghost game, so I don't think they're doing. And then they stopped. They're finished with the online portion of it, and so that's done. So like,
I would assume
they
they're
kind
ready
of got
to
an
move
open.
on to something. Yeah, to move on to something else.
They kind of got like an open playbook at this point. They're like, all right, we got the 2 games done. We did the online components. You know, now they got some time on their hands. They might be. Oh, you know what else might be there? The God of War remake trilogy that they teased like 6 months ago. Remember when What's His Face came out? The original Kratos.
Yeah, do you think they're ready to show something?
Maybe. He said it's early in development, but they might have something. I mean, you never know. But like I said, these are all just hopes and dreams. I don't have any information on that stuff. Not from them.
We do have a wrench in the gear that is coming up as well tomorrow that will be in this PlayStation State of Play and will be multi-plat. Will be on Xbox or PC and PlayStation, and that's Maverick Games' new. And I'm surprised I was wrong on this because I thought Mike Brown, the former lead developer of Playground Games and Forza Horizon, went out and made his own studio. Normally these studios don't even make it, but they've got a game ready to show, and it's an open world racer set in the south of France, which is crazy because Forza Horizon 2 was set in the south of France, if I remember right. But they put up 4 screenshots. It looks gorgeous. It looks like Forza Horizon married with Gran Turismo. I think it's partially story-based, like cinematic-based. I don't know if it's like an open-world Burnout game or if it's an open-world Forza Horizon clone, which I couldn't see them doing. I can't imagine leaving a 12-year development of Forza Horizon and going to just making another Forza Horizon type game. We already have Crew Motorfest.
Yeah.
But we're going to see this thing at the State of Play tomorrow. I've been
Really?
watching
Okay.
closely and capturing all these games that are coming multi-plat. I'll build a video about everything from that to expect before all the other big stuff comes out.
That's a ballsy move, man. Like when you got
Yeah.
someone almost as damn near as untouchable as Forza Horizon, like to go up against them with like the similar concept is pretty ballsy. I wouldn't do it. Like I would be like, guys, listen, man, they kind of got the crown, okay? When they start to if they start to get a little bit like stale or whatever, we can come in with a fresh idea, but I wouldn't go up against Forza. Forza's a no pun intended, a force to be reckoned with. So
Well,
have
you played Crew
it's like making a
Motorfest
GTA
on your PS5?
Yeah, it's actually surprisingly quite entertaining.
Yeah, so
It's a
why
fun
not?
game.
Why not, man? That game's awesome.
Yes. Did it do well?
Have you
Did
guys
it do
played
well?
it?
Like
Guys, have you
The
played Crew
Crew-
Motorfest? Like
Motorfest
really,
from Ubisoft is actually like Ubisoft makes some good games, man. They have really crappy management, but like the games are good.
yeah, the Crew
Except for
2
that
was
shooter, X-Defiant.
pretty crappy. But Crew Motorfest is set in Hawaii. It is, I mean, it's oh my gosh, somebody invited me to play Minecraft. I get this all the time. Just now. Crew Motorfest is Forza Horizon in Hawaii with motorcycles, cars, nitrous, boats, and planes. And that might sound kind of like garish,
Boats and hose.
but boats and hose.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Jeff Coulter in the chat, Forza needs a Crazy Taxi. They won't get one because we're actually getting Crazy Taxi, so they're going to avoid that. And Sega has
a reboot.
Sega has the partnership deal with Xbox, so not Game Pass, by the way. Don't get that twisted. They have a marketing deal and they have a partnership with Sega for the revival of their old games, but not Game Pass. But it's still it's exciting nonetheless. We're going to get Crazy Taxi back. So
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
because Meg.
Yeah, you in the front row,
Uh,
Mr. Eastwood,
I'm sorry, but
Gilligan Eastwood.
I've only played Crazy Taxi on a Dreamcast standing at a Best Buy for like 5 minutes. But I really liked
Really?
it.
You never played it like back in the day?
I never
It
really
was
got to really play it. Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever. I mean, like The Simpsons Hit and Run was probably like
Oh
more
my
fun
gosh, give
version
us a
of
port
Crazy
of that.
Taxi.
I would love to play that. I also want the port of
Dude.
the multiverse third-person shooter Family Guy game. I want that. Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat, thanks for Australian 5, says, I wonder how much of Xbox's promoting to other platforms their game is on due to all the anti-consumer stuff they went through with ABK. No, it's just desperation. I think it's purely just desperation. Like, we need to make as much money as possible. We can't survive without PlayStation. I really feel like that. And they will never truly grow and truly compete until they rid themselves of that mindset. And I think some of that will be going away, but Asha just can't do it right now. And Meg, you called it so well months ago. She's not going to do anything in 2026. They're going to put out Halo Gears and Forza, and they're going to, and that's how it is. And then they'll start looking at it.
Yep.
One more from
27 is when they're going to really look at it because then she'll have the numbers. She said she's looking at the numbers first because when she's got the numbers, the spreadsheets, she's got all the, everything in front of her. And then she could look at it and say, okay, now I have the metrics. I have something to work with. But she's going to be working on numbers and metrics.
Yeah, and you're going to have like Clockwork and Blade and some other games that are kind of like toss up in the air. How well these are going to do, right? Like when you have the Halo Gears and Forza, it's like, I mean, I guess that would have been a good time to try it out. So let's do exclusivity. These are exclusive, tentpole titles. We know what they are. We have an expectation of how they sell. Let's make them exclusive. But I think what your point, what Better said was, these are kind of set in stone. Let's just let this ride out, and we'll look at things next year. Udani, thanks for the 2, goes, today's episode title, Watch Your Profanity. Profanity.
Well, Colt started it, okay? I didn't start it. I was clean, and then he started saying bullshiz, and then it turned it, and then it devolved from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it devolved from there, and it turned into a nightmare, and it's his fault entirely. Anyways,
so,
carry on.
We will be in Los Angeles Thursday, and first thing Friday, we get up and we go to Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley is hyping up this show pretty well, too. We haven't seen his big sizzle trailer he does yet. What are some things that we're expecting to see? He had a pretty good show last year. What are we going to see at Summer Games Fest? What are people expecting? It's kind of a crapshoot, isn't it?
From Keighley, it could be anything. I mean, like, he ain't going to have PlayStation and Xbox there, right? Because they're doing their own thing.
Yep.
And it's not like Keeley found out like 5 days ago that they're doing a state of play. He's probably known that since like forever, right? So they start planning around that. So you're gonna get a lot of third-party stuff. You're gonna get a lot of indie stuff in there as well. You know how they do like the indie sizzle reel, like halfway through the show a bunch of smaller games, stuff like that. Oh, by the way, the new Kenna Bridge of Spirits game. I think you'll see that tomorrow.
That'll be a state of play. Yeah, good call. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about that one. For Keeley, I mean, that, like I said, you got it right. It's a crapshoot. I mean, you could get those Max Payne ones there. You could get the Splinter Cell there, assuming that Ubisoft is ready to show it. They should be. I mean, the game is. Well, anyways, they should be able to show it by now. But the thing is, sorry,
Mag almost spilled something. Holy!
I
crap.
almost said something I shouldn't have. That would have been bad.
He's like, no.
I'd never be allowed back there. Anyways, the thing is, you might get the Splinter Cell there, maybe Xbox on Sunday, who knows? But like, I would say Max Payne there, maybe in the new Jedi game for next year, the Jedi Survivor, or whatever the hell they want to call it.
What about Dokkaebi?
That
you don't even know what that is. What about Dokkaebi? Do you remember the open world little anime game? He plays like a little kid with a skateboard, and it's like an open city. You probably don't remember it, but I always
I don't remember that.
Like, I don't really like anime stuff, but this looks freaking fun. You could like jump all over the place, and
I'd be down with that. You might also see, I know people in the chat are talking about Resident Evil. I don't know if they're ready to show Code Veronica just yet, but they do have a lot of DLC coming out for Requiem, right? Including a story DLC. You might see a trailer
what about Code
for
Violet
like
Part 2.
Code Violet Part 2 is already confirmed. Yes, that's It actually shadow drops that day. We'll see.
Jet Set Radio, Malibu Jack says. Yeah, Jet Set Radio is Jet Set Radio, Malibu Jack said. There's rumors that Jet Set Radio is
Isn't that an Xbox title though?
It was, but yeah, I mean it's kind of like Sunset Overdrive in a way. I never got to play it. It came out before I was back to gaming, but I know people love it, and I would love
Crazy Taxi. I think you'll see Jay Silver. If they're going to show Crazy Taxi, they're going to show it on Sunday with Xbox because they have the partnership deal. Unless something changed. I don't know. Pentiment 2 is going to break the internet. That's right. Magnum. That's right. Anyways, as far as I know, because remember Sarah Bond went out there before the events happened in February. She was out there in Japan with Sega, and they were working on that partnership deal with them. Right. That's why she was out there. So, that was interesting. So we'll see that. Maybe if you're going to see Crazy Taxi, I think you'll see it Sunday at the Xbox Showcase.
Yeah.
So, not at Keeley's.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really great show. And to sit here and say what's going to be there is kind of futile, I suppose. Let's talk
Persona
about the
6. Yeah, there you go. Persona 6. I see that in the chat. AJ Hill in there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about Persona 6. I'm not a fan of the Persona series, but a lot of people, obviously it's a monster title, monster series. A lot of people love it, but a lot of people are talking about it. So, I think that might make an appearance too.
Yeah.
Now, do you think they get it or do you think Sony gets it? Because Sony's been doing a lot of marketing for the Persona series before. So that could be 50-50.
Sega makes it. I don't know. I feel like Sega, Capcom, Square Enix have kind of been backing away from money hat deals, but money talks. Dude, Trey James in the chat, also known as Punkadish, with a $2 super chat. This dude, I used to hang out with him in party chats back in
I know who he is.
2017, 18. Yeah. I drew his profile picture. He's still using it.
Yeah.
He was one of the first that I created created avatars for people for $50 back in the day. And he's still rocking it. He goes, I need Splinter Cell in my life. Great show. Thank you for being here, bro.
You'll get it in your life, Trey. You'll get it in your life. It is coming, and it is progressing nicely. It is definitely coming, though. It's not a myth. It's not a made up game. It's real, and it's actually a tangible product that can be played. So it's not a fantasy. Splinter Cell is happening now. It's not a new one, so don't get all excited. It's not a continuation of the story. It's a remake. So, but either way,
that'll be good for me because. Yeah, I was kind of hit or miss with some of the Splinter Cells, and that's why I love.
The first couple were amazing.
Yeah, I played them a little bit. It was real. That was like when I got back to gaming, so I was like, that was pretty hardcore. This Xbox showcase, I was telling the Iron Lords asked me to record a little prediction thing, and I'm like, I don't really have a prediction because this is going to be the first show in a long time where Xbox isn't going to be talking about these games they've already talked about. So I think there's going to be a lot of big world premieres, a lot of multi-plat games, and a lot of new reveals that no one has heard of or leaked. And the Xbox studios have been so quiet because basically they've released everything up until this point. The only thing that's not out is Fable and State of Decay 3, right? Which I heard there's not going to be State of Decay 3 at the showcase. I didn't
really.
I don't have a source, but I think like Jez was saying he heard or he's assuming that State of Decay 3 won't show anything at the showcase because they're doing internal private betas. It's supposed to be this month, and I haven't heard anything yet because I'm on the list. But
it's unusual.
That is unusual.
I figured they would have shown like a sizzle trailer, like a, hey, remember this game we showed you 7 years ago?
We've only seen 32 seconds of gameplay, and I've reused it in videos over and over. It's time to show running gameplay for State of Decay 3. There's also a Spyro reboot. I've been calling it Spyro 4, but Toys for Bob, they got sold their independence, so they're working with Xbox to make a brand new Spyro game. That doesn't excite me whatsoever. I played it back in the day, and I'm like, but maybe it's good. I think they might show a little bit of Halo because the rumor is that Halo is coming out in July. Like it's going to be
come
late
out very
summer.
soon, yes. Yeah.
So they'll show Halo. Of course, we'll talk about Gears in a minute, but there's that whole Fable, the Fable trailer, which better have the sizzle on it, Mag. But
they've already got the trailer made, so like it's not like they're making the trailer now. Like it's already done and produced, and
it's ready to rock.
You know what I mean? Like the show's ready, so whatever they got going on, hopefully, fingers crossed they put up a dope ass trailer so we can, you know what I mean? Like, wow, that's awesome. So
yeah, and the thing with Clockwork Revolution is another game. Like they already showed us an 8 or 9 minute trailer 2 years ago. I think it was. Maybe it was last year. Might have been last year. Anyway, it
was last year. Yeah,
a 9 minute trailer. So it set the stage. It had some characters interacting, like the dialogue stuff you'll do. You could see the places, and then it had like a minute or 2.5 minutes of full first person gameplay. Traversal, gunplay, time stop, and reverse. So I already know everything I need to know about Clockwork, but apparently Clockwork Revolution is going to get like another trailer, but it's probably going to be at the Direct in January for its release in 2027.
Okay.
But I don't need to see another Clockwork trailer, but apparently it's going to be there. What else is on the docket for the game showcase?
I mean, I would obviously, when they talk about Halo, they're going to give the release date. I think that's going to be the big one, so that they actually give you the release date and say it's coming out here. Do the final trailer, give the release date because that's what everybody's waiting for. Gears of War, they're going to give the release date plus a nice trailer. Then obviously they're going to give us a game breakdown, multiplayer breakdown. I would expect as well, whatever features they have in the game. So obviously, because they're doing a separate showcase just for that, right? So they're going to show us a lot about it, and the date is the big one, right? So they're going to drop the date for that. And then,
I got to ask you, a couple of years ago, you said that you heard that Gears E-Day had first person like mini game or like first person interactive chainsaw battles, like a switch to camera view. Do you think that's still
switch
something
to camera views and stuff?
You think that's still a thing?
To make it like more immersive and scary. I haven't heard anything since about that, but yeah, it was supposed to be like they were toying around with some ideas of like making it look like really scary and more like in your face kind of thing. So instead of just looking at like two guys like battling,
which they did,
like really before. Like switching the camera, zooming. I hope they do that, but like that was early in development, so you never know. They might have scrapped it or they might kept it. I hope they kept it.
It kind of
that was early in development. That sounds really cool.
It just depends on if the camera moves in organically and does it like in real time.
Yeah.
Blade is another one. Marvel Blade, Arcane
some
Leon
fudgers are always trying to ice skate uphill. Right? So,
Yeah.
And Blade will be there. Yeah, Blade, they're going to show Blade. Yeah.
Third person, Dinga Bob? Can't remember his name. Gosh darn it. Sorry, I shouldn't even thought of it out of the top of my head if I don't know what I'm talking about. He's awesome. He said that the game's very violent, very bloody. So you've got third person, you've got sword and gunplay. I don't know as much as you guys know about the Blade series, so I think this is going to be a pretty cool looking game. It's probably going to be announced for PlayStation. That'll be like a big moment. So PlayStation gets every Marvel game. I think that Blade would be the perfect game to say, we need to see how this thing does on its own. Because if Blade is a great IP, the game comes off really well in the reveal, that's when you say, let's see how it does on Xbox, Steam, ROG Ally, Lenovo, Cloud, Epic Game Store. I can just keep going on and on. You're talking about 300 million people it's available to you. It doesn't have to go on PlayStation. That could be your chance, Xbox, to compete. But I hope Blade is good. I did not like Deathloop. I tried. I played the 20-some hours.
Get into it.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. When stuff was working, when I figured out stuff, it was really satisfying. Gunplay felt great, but I just couldn't rub my brain cells together to.
This is a different game.
Track of it. Yeah,
this is a different game. I mean, we know it's a different game. It moves different. It looks different. It feels different. And I like the weapons in the game. I like the idea, like the kind of. Well, you'll see in the trailer, the kind of weapons that he's utilizing or whatever on top of his sword and stuff like that. So yeah, like the stuff that you will see in the Blade trailer is going to be pretty fun. So yeah, pretty excited for everybody to see that. And I just they won't give you a release date. They'll just they'll say probably more on that at the Direct in January because it's going to release in 2027. So at that point in January they can actually give you the release date, the full breakdown, whatever else. But at least you get another taste of it, other than him just getting a shave at the barbershop or whatever.
Oh,
right?
I'm so sick of looking at that, Mag.
It's literally the same trailer for 3 years now. So it's like, man,
we have two screenshots. We do have two screenshots. But the game has the halftone thing, and expect the graphics to look like Deathloop. It's going to be kind of simplified, maybe a little bit more advanced, but you're not getting like Wolverine levels of Marvel with Arcane Leon.
Well, they are playing it. There actually is like a full playthrough of the game. Like they're able to play through the game now, so like it's getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the
like a build of the game is available for them to actually like test and try out whatever right now. So I'm like, that's good. That's a positive thing. That means that we might get it sooner than expected. I mean, it says 27, but it could be in the spring. We don't know. I don't know. But if they're playing a playable build of it right now, that's great news, right? So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Blade. I'm all for it. Just make it gory, make it really serious. Because I mean, if you watch the first Blade movie. I mean, the second one was still good, but like the first one was just the king. Yeah, it made vampires scary again. You know what I mean? Instead of a bunch of like guys with no shirts on and glittering, glowing Robert Pattinson or whatever else. Like the vampires were scary.
No,
no, sign me up too.
Yeah,
half-naked werewolves. Join us. You want to just go run in the forest?
Oh my
Come
gosh.
on, just join us. All the other werewolves are out there.
Yeah, that sounds like the Expanse. Male character in the Expanse, Cyrus Reborn. Oh my gosh, the meteor that is pouring down from the sky.
Roar! Like when you watch like those what the hell were those stupid ass movies again? The one with Robert Pattinson. Twilight. Yeah, you watch those movies like those vampires. I'm like, not the vampires, the Lycans, and I'm just like, you guys are supposed to be scary. Like, you guys look like a teenage emo band. Like, I wouldn't be scared of you at all. I'd be like, change into a wolf, dude. I'll still kick your ass. Roar!
Knock it off, Glizner, but keep it up.
Glizner, what's he saying? Glizner, what do you say? I see it. Sorry.
Yeah, they're like the Redfall vampires.
Worse.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, BT goes, I want Dishonored 3 after Blade.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, we'll see if that comes back.
I like Dishonored 2 better than
Wolfenstein 3 is another one. Jez Corden from Windows Central doesn't believe that Wolfenstein 3 has really started, or he's not quite sure if they're going to make the game. But I've heard other people chat, like the leaks and rumor people talking about how Wolfenstein has another game coming. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see a teaser for Wolfenstein, but it's probably a couple years out. So
they also they still have a deal with Indiana Jones, eh? Like, it's not over with Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but do you think they're going to jump on? That's the question I want to ask. Like, will they jump on the next Indiana Jones game because maybe the timing feels right to give people another upgraded next experience for Indiana Jones, or should they go finish the trilogy with BJ Blazkowicz and then bring back Indiana Jones?
Bring back Jones?
Like, will
I don't
Troy
know.
Baker still be ready to do that?
Yeah. But I mean, they did like it wasn't just a single like they didn't just sign on in a single game. They gave options for sequels. So when they made the deal with Disney, they made Lucasfilm, which is owned by Disney, obviously. But when they made the deal, it was for the option of multiple projects. It wasn't just a single game. Like it wasn't a one-off and DLC. Right, so they made it for multiple games. So now the thing is, when you make multiple, like when you're in Hollywood, you make a multi-picture deal. Doesn't mean you could do it. It has the option to do it depending on the performance of the first one and on and on. So they just have it as like an open-ended contract to be like, listen, if it does well, you have our great. You don't have to keep coming back to us, so we don't have to write up new legal documents to make a part 2 or whatever else.
Yeah,
you just need the green light. That's basically it, right? So they did that with the Indy Jones series. So they have the option. It's entirely up to them. So I don't know. Whatever Machine Games does, I'm in. I'm in. I like them.
Yeah, I mean, Wolfenstein New Order back in 2014 looked unbelievable. And then when New Colossus came out, it doesn't look like New Order at all. Like the models are like way more detailed. The game feels like more slick. So I expect the third one to take another big evolutionary jump, and that's what they do. Like it's night and day.
Those Wolfenstein games were gorgeous,
and they're so good. Yeah, it's just a night and day.
The only one that was a bit of a misstep was the one with his daughters. What the hell was that one called?
Come on. Yeah,
what was that one called? That was horrible.
Youngblood. Sorry, I shouldn't say it sucked,
yeah, the one that took place in the 80s or whatever.
It was so frustrating. It had level gated areas, and it was too easy or completely too difficult. It looked amazing, but
Mass Effect. Spartan is right. Mass Effect. We might see something about Mass Effect. There's some rumors out there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if BioWare kind of works with Xbox to showcase.
I mean, they've been
the next Mass Effect.
It's been a long time since when did they say they were working on it?
They said they've been working on it for a while, but they said don't expect Mass Effect till 2028. And I remember they said a couple years ago, it's an eternity, but that's 2028 means you could show it now if you want, 2 years out, or you could talk about it. But I think BioWare would be better off waiting to talk about it the year of. The other one is my prediction that they show Elder Scrolls 6 is really hampered down by the idea that I really believe that Elder Scrolls 6 is the end of 2027. And I might make a video about this soon because all these people are like, I'm negative, I'm pessimistic, I've been burned too many times. Then I don't blame them for thinking this, but they're like, that game's like 2029, 2030 at the earliest because they get tired of Todd Howard jerking them around when it comes to the game releases. But Todd Howard said, I want to show the game and then have it come out later that year. So I really would hedge my bet on Elder Scrolls 6 being shown at the next showcase and coming out in the holiday. And there's no way it's coming out now.
Fallout 3 remake. That's that they're going to show. I think they're going to show that.
Jez Gordon's not sure if they are. I think they could or should. I think it would be in their best interest if Fallout 3 is coming out like April 2027. Show it now. Like you need to give somebody.
So how are they going to show it this thing? Like all these games that we're talking about, we're bringing up. They're like, oh, I'm hearing it might not be there. I'm like, so what is going to be there?
Well, that's the thing. Most of the showcase is going to be like, wow, they're working on that. Whoa, this game's coming out. I think it's going to be. That's what most of the showcase will be. Will be world premiere.
Because like all these ideas we keep coming up with, like, hey, what about this game? And then there's like, well, I heard might not be there in this, and I'm like, what the hell is there?
Yeah, there's going to be Fallout 76. There's going to be Fallout 76, Sea of Thieves, and Elder Scrolls Online. They'll get a small bit. They get it every single year. Even though I love those games, I wish those weren't at the showcase, but tens of millions of people play those games all the time. So they're a pretty big deal. I know you guys don't like Fallout 76. It's way better than you thought it was, but there is a next generation update right at the end of the generation. But apparently Fallout 76 is dog ugly because it's being built from the old consoles up and they're redoing it. So even on PC and on Series X and PS5 Pro, Fallout 76 is going to look really, really nice. And the game's really, really good. So anyway, there'll be a little bit of that. But I want to ask you, what is your like dream come true? Like maybe a revival of a franchise you want to see, or just some game that you wish exists and that you could see pop up at the Xbox Game Showcase?
The Xbox Game Showcase, my dream would be, and it's not from the first party, but I want to see Splinter Cell there. And the reason why is because it's the 25th anniversary. Splinter Cell started on Xbox. Why not show it after 25 years back on Xbox? And that would, I think that even though it's not a first party, I think that would blow the roof off the place.
It would.
I think so. Like when Boomstick is sitting there, I don't want to be anywhere near him if they showed Splinter Cell, because he'll literally accidentally knock my head off because his arms are going to go flying up in the air. He's going to levitate 7 feet off the ground. And it's going to be like a whole thing because he's been waiting for years for that game, right?
Yeah.
But I think that if you showed it there, I think that would literally steal the show. And the funny thing is, again, it wouldn't even be an Xbox game, but I think that the hype around that, its origins and its history with Xbox, I think would be a great idea to do it there. Not at the Keeleys. I think that Keeley could do his own thing. I think that Xbox really should make sure that they got that one and, launch it or whatever. And because it's a remake, not an original game without the same budget and everything else that a full-fledged sequel would cost, you put it day one in Game Pass and play anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be like, dude, people would be losing their effing minds.
Yeah, and I think Xbox has closed a bunch of shows with really big games that aren't theirs, like Cyberpunk, and that would be a really big deal. And it really does kind of have that Xbox DNA. Splinter Cell does, for sure.
It is. I think it was always
with
synonymous with it. It's synonymous with it. It started there, whatever else in the OG and whatever. Yeah, okay, it was available elsewhere, but it was synonymous with it, and that's kind of how it went. And whatever. And now 25 years later, you bring back the original. Oh, dude.
You know what else is synonymous with a good time and great flavors?
What's up?
4XP. And shout out to 4XP for showing up in the chat. They said, making it the show a little late, better late than never. I'm drinking some Grave Walker right now while we're doing the show.
They're Grave Walker.
Check them out. We talked about them earlier in the show. Go there and order some. You can get free shipping for an order over 50 if you buy a tub or two. You got to try all the colors, all the flavors. You got to try your watermelon, blueberry, and your white gummy. Go check them out. Also, if you want to win the 007 Collector's Edition, go in there and enter for a chance. Right. That's got to be the best way to play the game with that mask on your face. They're awesome. Yeah. And 4XP says the white gummy tastes like gummy bears, but it doesn't. But it does.
But it does.
Robert Kemp, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you. My big thing that I want to see from Xbox is them pulling up a dormant franchise that everybody freaking loves. Something maybe from Activision. Okay. And I teased this in my video a couple weeks ago. They won't do it. I mean, Jess Corden thinks they're not doing it. He doesn't think he's heard anything about this, but it's time to make another prototype game. Like, how often do we get open world thrash games like that? Like Infamous Second Son or Prototype or, they just don't make them anymore. And people love that stuff. The other thing is there's a rumor that we talked about that rumor last week about Transformers. There's a rumor that somebody's working at, maybe it's a mobile game, we don't know, but what if High Moon Studios finally was told, you don't have to make the trees and rocks for Call of Duty, we're going to let you do your thing, and they make another Cyberpunk game? That would be another thing, or Cybertron game. That would be amazing for me to see revealed at the show.
That'd be fun.
That Gen 1 Transformers thing would be awesome. The last one, and I think I talked about this last week, I really did like Gotham Knights. It was really brilliant in a lot of ways. It could have been better, but I think it was really brilliant in a lot of ways. I would love that formula melded into making a Ninja Turtles game. Mature, gritty, violent, dismemberment, breaking apart foot soldiers. The Last Ronin. Yeah, open world and open city.
Do it, man.
Yep. Yeah, I would love to see that from Xbox. Activision used to buy the rights to these games. They did like the Spider-Man games. I would love to see them put their money together and get a big franchise. Xbox needs to crack the wallet. And Phil Spencer didn't like this, Mag. He was like, we don't like dealing with franchises that we don't own. Then we have to pay the money. We want to have our own portfolio. It's like, yeah, you got your own portfolio. Crack the wallet and get some big superhero or movie franchise or some
Pop
big
culture
IP.
sells, bro.
Yep.
Pop culture
Absolutely.
sells. Sony's been doing it for years, and they're raking it in. So do it. I think that was I didn't like that philosophy either. I'm like, dude, you were doing it in the 360 gen, and you were flourishing. When you stopped doing it, it stopped working. So let's like go back to that. I mean, people love that stuff. What we talked about earlier the show, man, when it comes down to it, when you get this, like the zeitgeist and the pop culture and getting into the mind share of the casual as well as the hardcore, the way to do that is by going after those monster IPs. Now, even if you don't have like any form of exclusivity, you get the marketing rights, you get exclusive missions or whatever, right? You can get all different things that you could possibly do, like they did with like PlayStation did a couple years ago with Hogwarts Legacy. Play these exclusive missions over here on the PlayStation. All the advertising that people bought it over there. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that nobody bought it on Xbox or whatever, but they did, but not at the kind of levels that they were buying over there. And that's what you do. I think Xbox could absolutely do the same thing. And they should have been doing the same thing. Get those big titles. TMNT would be fantastic. Batman, you can forget about it because, Rocksteady's going to be doing their thing. Thank God dipping back into that well. But I mean, TMNT, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, they do. Their portfolio of characters is crazy. Like they don't have to go out and buy something, but some stuff sitting there dormant, so maybe they should crack the wallet. We got Destin Legary in the chat. Shout out to Destin. His channel Destin's channel's doing awesome. He's been creating great content, and he brought up my tweet and said he didn't necessarily agree with me, but which is good because we can have a discussion about it. But he goes, "What if where is it?" He said, "I'll lose it if they get rid of the competitor logos. That's how they'll really win." Colt, I think he's being facetious, but. Yeah, he did a really great video the day of about the logo gate thing. And it's good to have a reasonable conversation about what that means. But since Destin's here, Destin, I was talking earlier about how the logo gate to me has nothing to do with exclusivity. Like almost to me, nothing completely to do with exclusivity. It has to do with Xbox saying, we want you to buy all of the games from our store first. And when they show a game like Respawn Entertainment puts out a Jedi game and Xbox says, buy it on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Sorry, I'm repeating this for you guys who were here earlier. They're basically saying, hey, go buy the game wherever you want. And then they're losing out on any percentage of sales. And my worry, Destin, is that Xbox already has a problem with getting some developers to make games for their platform. It could kind of slowly build the snowball effect where they're advertising for other consoles or other platforms or other stores, and eventually it starts creeping in where developers are like, we're not going to make a game for Xbox version this time around. And then another developer was like, well, a lot of developers aren't even making an Xbox version. And then in a year's time, Xbox starts missing out on big franchises on their own console, and your library's in danger. Now it kind of sounds like I'm being super crazy, like, ooh, you're being a little bit, you're kind of exaggerating a little bit, but even if that wasn't the end case, Destin, my point was that Asha Sharma should be looking out for their priority number one as their platform. She should be making sure as much money is funneling in for them. Because if I'm not talking about exclusive, I'm talking about all the multi-platform games that are available to everybody. If you're missing out on the sales, which are 80% of the sales for PlayStation, are games that they don't make and they don't publish. If she diminishes that ability by allowing them to put other logos on there, it could be a dangerous, slippery slope. And that's kind of what I was getting at. And so I would tell her that personally if I talked to her. Okay, anyway, we already talked about that, but you guys are awesome. Yeah, go check out Destin. He just does great content. He says, I think it's BS that all the studios do it. Should be FCC required, in my opinion. It's actively anti-consumer, but I kind of get it. I just don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it either, bro. I don't know about it being anti-consumer. Meg and I were talking about how PlayStation just kind of says, here's a game, and it's available on PlayStation. And they just don't say Xbox because they're like, well, we don't want you to buy it from Xbox, but we don't want to say that. So it's kind of really a business 101 thing. Like Meg was saying, right, you're saying it's like, they're just being aggressive. And I'm like, but they're kind of just like protecting themselves and funneling as much money their way as possible, which is kind of how you do business, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of what corporations do.
But your thoughts, Meg? Sorry.
No. That was it. I really didn't have much more to say about it. But I mean, that's what corporations do, right? You're trying to funnel everybody to your, business, and it is what it is, right? So
yeah, and Justin just said
in
like
the end,
your thing
for them. I mean, we can argue about it. We can talk about it. We can,
yeah,
we can debate it, and that's totally fine. And it's totally cool and fun and whatever. But at the end of the day, their business decisions have to come from them. And then the thing is, what are you actually going to do? Most of the Xbox people, it's not like they're going to leave because they saw a logo or whatever. They're going to stay there and stay in the platform. But it doesn't help with the growth of the future.
They're going to kick rocks,
certainly. Yeah, but there is a point there where it's like, well, you're not exactly leading another generation over to you. That's the thing. They're not, at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about the chat. It's not about Destin. It's not about any of that. Right? You know what it's all about? It's about that next generation. It's about my kids. It's about Destin's kids. It's about your kids. It's about Satanist's kids. Okay? Or whatever. It's about all of our kids. Okay? Because we're locked in or whatever. We are still consumers, obviously, but they're not looking at the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. They're looking at the next 30 years. Who's going to be the one purchasing at that point? They're looking at that target demographic of early teens, and then they're going to go in there. Because, I mean, look at what happened. I told you the story 1,000 times. One exclusive from 2006 got me as a paying customer in an Xbox ecosystem for 20 years.
Yeah,
and that's what they want to do.
And you haven't left.
Right? Now, was I exclusive there? Absolutely not. I play on PlayStation all the time. And rarely dabble in Nintendo, even though I keep buying their goddamn hardware. But I mean, I barely touch it. I'll be playing it on the plane to LA. That's probably the most I've ever spent on my Switch too. But anyway, the point is that they got me as a paying customer for 20 years. So they're not looking at us. The thing is, if you're trying to target that younger generation, the younger generation is going to look at it and they're going to say, well, I got a PlayStation. I'll just stay there. Or whatever. And yes, you would engage in their software and they will still make money off of it. But if you're trying to grow the platform in terms of hardware and of course in the ecosystem, then you're not going to be able to do that if you're not funneling those people towards there with a very clear marketing direction. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree. Because people don't leave platforms. Like they just
no,
don't.
They're not going to leave platforms.
Like we talk about this all the time, right? And we always hear people on social media say, I left Xbox, F them, I went to PlayStation. I talked to somebody at Xbox that said, we looked at the numbers. Like the guy who says, I left Xbox, F you, he's like, it is such a small sliver. It doesn't really happen. People don't throw their digital library or their physical library in the garbage and say, I'm changing teams. And they start waving the different colored flag. Like there are a couple people, they're prominent in the community and they lash out and they get kind of angry. They'll lash out at executives.
But
they'll pitch and swear and stuff. But the reality is, I was that person that I didn't do the switch in 2018. I was like, I want to play Spider-Man and God of War. It's time to buy a PS4. So I went to eBay and bought one for $220, and I played all these PlayStation games. And when they were done, I went and played the Xbox games. And then PlayStation comes out with a new game like Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2. I went and bought those. I'm on PlayStation that month. And like the Switch, you don't switch platforms. The fanboys switch platforms. A real gamer just switches the HDMI. So the last thing I want to say, Mag, is when you to support what you're saying, is like people don't leave. That's not a thing. And so Xbox doesn't need to put other platforms' logos on there. They need to make sure people are continuing to want to buy on their ecosystem and keep it alive. It's all about self-preservation of Xbox as a brand. And when they put other platforms on the trailers for games that they're not theirs, they're telling the world, we don't care where you buy the game. And that's when they make 0% of the money.
Here's an interesting thought. Yes, right, true. Here's an interesting thought. What I was talking about targeting that younger generation, this is what it ties into exactly what you said. When you're saying that people who switch or leave platforms or whatever else, that's not really the focus when you think about it. When I was talking about targeting our children, so to speak, when it comes to their marketing or whatever, they might be purchasing their very first console, so they're not switching from anything. So at some point in every consumer's life, they are going to buy a console for the very first time in their entire life. That's what you need to nail. So the thing is, it's not about me or Tim Dog 3 times a week or you or anybody else or whatever. It's not about that. It's about the people buying the console for the very first time, making that very first purchase with their lawn cutting business, or they're throwing newspapers on the, I'm sure they don't do that anymore. No one buys a newspaper, but you know what I mean? Like
Except
whatever
my
little
in-laws.
jobs they have, like a little part-time job at like the garden center up the road where they're sweeping aisles or whatever, right? One day they're going to make that very first purchase. And that's what they need to target. So by doing that, that is where you have to have a clear, concise message. And because that kid will look at it and say, I want that. And then the dad will be like, well, you're old enough to have a job. You can go get a part-time job at the ice cream parlor, whatever else. And when you have enough money, you can buy yourself your very first console. You have to have something attractive to them. So when it comes to this whole switching sides and all this, those people are locked in all these different, they're not really going to go anywhere. They need to target those people who've never bought a console. And that is where it all starts, because once you get them there, that could be decades long of paying consumers. And that's where, that's what's very interesting. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
So
good point,
that's
man.
where it all boils down to. So that's another thing. And that's why they're not interested in us. Where the hell are we going?
Well, I mean,
You
they
get
should
mad
be
at
praying.
Xbox one week, love them the next week, hate PlayStation one week, love them the next week. The hardware's there, and we have access to their storefronts, right? We're not going anywhere.
They should be
It's those
praying
new
that people are interested in the Xbox platform and buying their mainstream games from them, because if you're like all of you guys here watching the show, you probably complete about 30 games a year, right? Like you buy all these games, they get expensive. You spend all the money on them, and you try and finish 20 or 30 games every year, right? Or maybe 40. I mean, isn't, 25 out of the 30 of those multi-platform games that everyone's talking about? And Xbox should be hoping and praying on a wish and a hope and a dream that where the majority of the games are. It's like when I talk about exclusives, like exclusives matter only to a certain point, because 80 to 70% of the games you're playing are multi-platform games. So Xbox should be hoping on a dream that you're buying your games from them, because most of the games sold each and every year are available on all platforms. And so you don't want PlayStation to be the place where you play every single game. So it is really about the self-preservation of their platform. And I think it's super foolish to say, here's a game from Capcom and here are all the places you can buy it at the end of their own show. I told someone, I said this before, I said, this is your show. You're paying. You're taking in the money to world premiere their game. It's your event. You're paying for all the things that make it happen. And then you turn around and say, go buy the game wherever you want. No, who does that? It's crazy. Who does that?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I'm like, you paid the money. You paid the editors. You're paying the producers. You're paying to the building that it's going to be in the National Museum, whatever the hell. You're paying for the place. You're paying for all that stuff, the catering, the food, the booze, the parties, the hangouts, flying everybody down there, all this other stuff, whatever. And you would want to focus on just that. Now, the thing is, after the fact, go ahead, advertise the living hell out of it. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be here. Let PlayStation do it. Let Nintendo do it. They can put up
PlayStation will
tweets,
have that trailer
blogs,
on their
videos.
If it's a Capcom game, PlayStation will have that trailer on their channel, like within moments or the very next day or whatever, and they'll just have the PlayStation logo, and that's fine.
Call of Duty did it just the other day. Call of Duty did the other day. Once they showed that trailer, within hours, PlayStation launched a trailer, and it's not even their game, and they had one on their channel. I saw it pop up on my feed. And PlayStation showed a trailer for Modern Warfare 4. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I checked to see, and it was like a matter of hours. So, like, you can do all that. When the show is over, advertise the hell out of it. Put trailers out on YouTube, whatever else. That's where you're going to get audiences anyway. So, do that. But if you're putting on a show, make them feel special.
It's not a secret where the game's going. You're just, like Destin said before he left, he said, I guess Target doesn't, mention Walmart. Like, they don't. And it's not a secret. Like when they put out a trailer in a world premiere, a media kit is sent out to like VGC, IGN, The Verge, etc. And they all have a media kit that has logos, game art, details, release date, and where the platforms are. So VGC will sit down, great gaming website. They'll sit down and write an article, and they've got all the information for them. They're like, this is the game. Here's what it's about. And it's coming to these platforms, blah, 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 PS5, Xbox, blah, blah. It'll put all, and that's all in the thing. And then even those platform trailers will have they'll say it. So you always find out later. This is going to happen tomorrow when we watch the state of play. The media is going to tell me which games are coming to Xbox that PlayStation showed. So, yeah, it's frustrating that PlayStation's like PS5. And I'm like, wait, is this going to be on Xbox or is this going to be on PC at least? Or, because PlayStation does that too. They put out a game and it's on everything but Xbox. Like they do that, right. Or their developers do that. So I've said a lot. It's just really about the transparency comes in the information afterwards, because you just got to have some balls and say, we want you to buy our game from us, and we're not going to spend our time and energy advertising for a platform where we get zero money. And I love your cat. I love your cat. Unless I'm seeing this back. Yeah, your cat.
Because he knows it's late now, so he's like, where the hell has he been?
Guys,
so he came down to check on me.
That's the show. I wanted to get out of here. Mag and I had so much to say. Showcase. We can't really say anything else about what's going to be there, because this is going to be a really great eye-opener. I think it's going to be a lot of surprises coming from all of the shows this coming week. Thank you guys so much. Mag, tell everybody where they can find you again for the people who are here now about what you have coming on the channel, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, buddy. Jeff Coulter, yes, it is a hairless cat. I have 2 sphinxes. Yes, anyhow. Tomorrow afternoon, I will be doing Magcast, not at 8:45. It'll be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and that's where we're going to have a half hour. Let all let the crowd come in or whatever, and then we're going to watch the state of play live. We're going to do a watch party on the channel, and then Broke Boy said his dog went nuts when he saw the cat. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut myself off there. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the state of play together, live with the audience, and then as soon as it's over, I'm going to switch scenes. I'm not going to turn off the stream. I'm going to switch scenes, and then we're going to go directly into Magcast, where it's fresh in our minds. We're going to talk about what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, and then at the end of the show, after we're done all that, we're just going to keep going with Magcast right there. So from 4:30 p.m. and then we'll talk about what you guys would like to see at. I know we just did it tonight, but we'll what we want to see on the weekend at Games Fest and at Xbox on Sunday. And yeah, that's basically it. And then that's it. Then I'm going to do maybe another video on Wednesday, and then that's it. Then off we go, buddy, off to the airport, and then we're going to start flying. And then I will be doing daily vlogs on the channel of like the whole LA experience or whatever else, and going to all the different showcases and everything else. I'll be filming all that, and it's not going to be as good as like a produced video I could do at home. I'm going to be doing it on my phone, but I will still put them up every day, and then you guys can watch them. Yeah, and check those out, and then see how wild things get. So yeah, it'll be very interesting, very busy week. But what's crazy is just a few weeks ago, I was saying to myself, I'm like, man, I'm only like 200 and something subs away from 4,000 within this first year frame that I've been doing the channel. And I checked it, and I was like, oh crap. And I got like 180 subs in the last like 4 days or whatever. But now I am 51 away from the 4,000 mark. And I was really hoping to get that before LA, because I thought that'd be kind of a fun little, sort of, whatever precipice to reach. And I wanted that. But so I'm 51 subs away from 4,000, and that would be great within that, like I said, within that first year plus window. So of doing the channel. So anyways, yeah. So guys, I'll see you guys. Whoever wants to come over, check out Magcast tomorrow night, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and we'll talk about that there before we head out to LA. And Colt, the next time I talk to you on the mic, I will be talking to you in person. So I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah, I'll try and get one video out before I go, but yeah, it's been crazy. I hope I do get time. Mm-hmm. But thank you guys so much for your support. We had over 800 people here. Hit the like button and make sure you leave a comment once we go. I'll have timestamps up, and Mag, hopefully do some karaoke. We got a lot planned. We're going to be super busy.
We got a lot going on, man. It's going to be busy. It's going to be great. So, and anyway, and another thing I want to say, one last thing. Chat, y'all know how it is. I know when we get like some of these hairy topics and whatever else, and we all get a little emotional and stuff. Remember, at the end of the day, we're just having fun. We love you guys, and I love you guys, and and all that jazz. And no, there's no hard feelings with anything. So it's all good. And that's what we do, man. You know why? Absolutely. Because we're passionate. We're passionate about this because we love it,
and we learn on the show
and whatever else.
Yeah, every week we learn from you guys too. You always bring up something.
I got you, Taylor.
A lot of you guys brought up a lot of perspective. It's like, oh yeah, duh. And I learned from Mag too. Mag will say something. I'm like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. So we appreciate you guys so much.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
Guys, well, we'll catch you guys. Whoever wants to be there tomorrow for Magcast. If not, I will not be at XNC next week, but I'll see you guys the week after. So
yeah. Well, I don't.
either way,
I don't know what we're gonna do, but yeah. Thank you for your support. We're on year 5. You guys are amazing. We'll talk to you guys soon. Next time you see us, we'll be taking pics in LA and telling you all about the showcase. So have a good time, guys, and we'll see you soon. Later.